Alright guys, sorry about that. I am ready to go. You guys are too. Let me generate the bracket. Press the real quick. Alright. Everyone go find your matches. Super sorry about how late that was, but you know, it is what it is. What can you do? Sometimes things slow you down. Alright. Spectator slots and whatnot. I will also make an announcement in here. In the announcements tourney tab. First map is a domain according to what? The battles are about conquest. Did I make it conquest or something? Did I put conquest in the description? I don't think so. Uh, yeah, it's not conquest. I don't know what that person's talking about. Did I put the total tavern map back in there? I hope so. Yes, right there. So the first map is a domain according to. I don't understand what this person is saying. The battles are about conquest, and I subscribe to the map pack, but they do not appear. I don't understand what that person's talking about. But let me boot up the game and we'll get right into it, folks. We'll also probably change those words. Waterloo Landing. We'll just hop into the first one we see. That has a spectator slot at the very least. There we go. Casting your games. Make sure to leave spectator slots. Look, have fun. All right. Hopefully there's no issues today. It does seem like we have Chaos Dwarves against Skaven. That should be exciting. I just thought I was about to do something and I already forgot. ADHD brain, I guess. But it seems like both players are ready. Into it. Blocker. Alright. So we do have a Sorcerer Prophet of Fire on the Chaos Dwarves, and for Ikit-Claw, for Skaven, we do have Mr. Ikit-Claw himself. You see Ikit-Claw so often that might as well just call the rest of the faction Ikit-Claw. But, oh yeah, that's what I was doing. I was looking at the maps. I was gonna change that. I'm a professional. I will do. How about that? I'll have to do it after the match, because otherwise, I'm going to drop a bunch of frames. All right. Maybe be too loud. We'll see. Sorcerer Prophet of Fire on a Beltaurus. What do we got here? We do have the Chalice of Blood and Darkness, so for that passive heal whenever an enemy is casting a spell within range, range being infinite. Kindle Flame for that weakness to fire damage, 20%. Going to be proccing that very often with the Burning Head, which is very nice. And it also works as well with the rest of the army, like the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders, which do fire damage with their missiles. The rest of the army will be Hobgoblin Cutthroats, and some Chorfs, plus Goblin Laborers. We also have some Hobgoblin Archers and more Goblin Laborers in the backside. We do have the two Infernal Castellans. That's an interesting tech there. I guess to maybe shoot at Naked or Rat Ogres. I don't know. Very interesting tech there. I don't like them particularly well because they seem to struggle shooting a majority of the time, and just kind of just don't really output DPS like they should. But Ikit-Claw will be the lord for the Skaven side. We do have Howling Warp Gale, Unlimited Power, Brass Orb, Cleansing Ruin as well, and Mescalfear. He is on his Doom Wheel, so he should do good work. We do have Warplock Giselles. How many is it? Just two? Just the two. And we do have mostly Skaven Slaves as the front line. We do have the Ikit Zap Warp Cannon, Warp Lightning Cannon ROR. Going to be doing great at sniping out the Lord, like the Beltaurus. And any other Centaur Renderers, Bull Centaur Renderers as well. That should do good stuff. Night Runners as well for the Skirmishing. We do have one Poison Wind Globe and two Eshin Triads for the anti-large stock. Let's get right into it. Right off the bat, Skaven are going to be taking their home objective, point 1. Same for the Chaos Dwarves at tank point 3. Sorry about that. Joking on something. Goblin Wolf Raiders shooting in, just getting some firing in, but it's kind of just wasted on Skaven Slaves, so. Oh, I didn't even notice the Rattling Guns. Rattling Guns come in and get some good firing on the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders, just some good work. This is going to be a nasty Burning Head here, just right ripping through both these Skaven Slaves. Is it going to have to the rest of them as well? Oh no, the Skaven player pushes up their Skaven Slaves, giving the Burning Head. Oh no, the Burning Head would have passed those two. That's so unfortunate. I mean, at the very end of the day, it is just Skaven Slaves, but I mean, Skaven Slaves do serve a purpose, even if they are relatively, you know, free to throw away. Rattling Guns do get run down by the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders, and quite unfortunately, definitely need some Rat Ogre support here because Rattling Guns are too expensive to be letting go to Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders. Night Runners coming in to support as well. Sorcerer Prophet is being shot by Ikit Zap. The nice thing about being shot by Ikit Zap, it is increasing his cooldowns by a few seconds as well, which is pretty nice. Ikit-Claw getting out of there as he takes a few volleys from the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders, or Hobgoblin Archers I mean. A Cleansing Rune gets thrown down, but unfortunately it doesn't do much as the Sorcerer Prophet just leaves the area, and it was set down on the area rather than the actual Sorcerer Prophet himself. But unfortunately, the Rattling Gunners do get run off as the support is just a little too late. And they might be able to come back. They still have 21 models, and they are routed, not shattered quite yet. But the other Hobgoblin Wolf Raider will most likely end up chasing them off completely. Another Burning Dead coming down here. Burning Head might come down here and run through these Night Runners, and it does, doing some solid work against them, and we'll probably go through the same one as well. Yeah, just absolutely devastating Burning Head there. Those Night Runners just absolutely demolished. Cleansing Ruin, or rather Howling Warp, you're going to be hitting the Sorcerer Prophet there and locking him in place, giving the Ikit Zap time to shoot at him. Same with the Warplock Giselles. They're going to do some solid work in, but those Night Runners would have been absolutely detrimental there for taking out the Sorcerer Prophet. But unfortunately, they got run away by Burning Head. We do have the Kadai Fireborn summoned in, very nice, and they're going to get on top of the Warplock Giselle. Should do great work. I mean, hopefully, they are going past the Night Runners at the moment. Hopefully, the Chaos Dwarf player turns them around and gets them on top of the Warplock Giselles. But there are spears here. The Kadai Fireborn do have at least some physical resistance of 10%, and they can get more, I think, with Blazing Body. Yes, they can get up to 10% more with the Blazing Body, so they should do good work if the Chaos Dwarf player is careful. A Brass Orb going to be hitting those Chorfs, going to do some solid work. Point 1 is still, rather point 2 is still in the hands of the Chorfs, and point 3 as well. Point 1 still remaining in the hands of the Skaven. We do have the Chaos War, the Kadai Fireborn continuously pushing through the back line of the Skaven side, and we do have some Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders, Wolf Riders coming in, and some more as well summoned in. These Goblin Laborers need to come back onto the point, but you know, they're Goblin Laborers, they don't actually matter. Chorfs just fighting amongst the Eshin Triads, going to do pretty great here. Honestly, the Eshin Triads definitely don't want to be fighting armored infantry. I mean, they have good armor piercing, but at the same time, it's just kind of wasted on armor infantry, and in general, they kind of don't want to be fighting infantry in general, unless it's monstrous infantry. They're a bonus versus large specialized glass cannon infantry unit, so got to be careful with them. Infernal Castellans fighting amongst these Rat Ogres. They do have bonus versus large, I think, in melee, yes, of 5. It's not incredible, but it's something, and they have decent melee stats as well, 45, 42. Rat Ogres are also being shot under. Not only are they fighting the Infernal Castellans, but the Infernal Castellans are like holding them back from actually getting on top of any of the more important units, like the Archers. So they're giving the Hobgoblin Archers time to fire. Backline is in a bit of a havoc at the moment for the Skaven side, and it is not looking great for them. No units are around to get on top of point 1. Aside from, I guess we do have some Plague Monks coming over. They should absolutely wreck through those Goblin Laborers. But aside from that, we have some Skaven Slaves which are like so close to routing that it's insane. More Skaven Slaves and Night Runners coming back. But yeah, point 1 is still in the hands of Chaos Dwarves, and we do have some more support coming in as well. Wolf Raiders and Chaos Dwarf Warriors. Night Runners shooting into the Kadai Fireborn, slowly dragging them down, but they're up to 200 kills, already up to 1,000 value. Because Zap's still shooting in at the Sorcerer Prophet, trying to land some shots, and it does land a pretty decent shot there, and another one, pretty nice, increasing its cooldowns as well. And let's see if the Sorcerer Prophet is up to only 900 value, not too shabby there. Definitely the Ikit Zap is screening them out and making sure they can't go too far into the back line. Wolf Raiders getting some shots, side shots into those Plague Monks. Plague Monks are not going to do great into Chorfs in the first place, but at least they do have some support there from the Ikit Zap and Ikit himself. Infernal Castellans got hit by a Cleansing Ruin, but not going to do a whole lot to them. Just going to mostly be hitting them. Clan Rat Spears summoned in as well. We do have the Warplock Giselles continuously firing in on the Wolf Raiders. Doing okay there. Do have some Night Runners coming back. Most likely be able to finish off those Kadai Fireborn. We'll see, especially with the help of the Skaven Slay Spears. But we do really need something from the Skaven side to be sent over to point 1. And it does seem like the Clan Rats will eventually get there. It's just the issue is that these Wolf Raiders and Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders might be able to stop them if the Chorf player notices. Just sending them over and stopping them from getting to the point is very, very valuable. Rattling guns shooting in. into the Infernal Castellans, but they are as well under fire by the Hobgoblin Archers, and they will probably end up leaving here soon without being able to finish off those Castellans. Plague Monks coming in, they need to probably make it over to point 2 or to point 3. Something needs to be sent over to point 3, as point 3 is only really contested by the Hobgoblin Cutthroats. And you could probably send in some either Death Runners, Plague Monks, whatever, through the back line. And a Chorf player probably might not notice. But yeah, point 1 and point 3 are definitely need to be contested at the moment, as point 2 is really just held down by the Chorf player at the moment. I mean, to be fair, Hobgoblin Cutthroats are not hard to cut through. Plague Monks would do great into them. Rat Ogres would do great into them. Pretty much most of the Skaven side, aside from Skaven Slaves, would do good into them. But considering they have most of their units on point 2, it's best to tackle the other two, which don't have as many. But yeah, it's not looking great for this Skaven side. I mean, we do have the Natty Boo Sharpshooters get summoned in, and they'll be able to finish up the Castellan, but really, the Castellans are not your biggest issue here for the Dwarf side. You need to start sniping out the Hobgoblin Archers, the Dwarfs, and just in general, any of the more important units. Sorcerer Prophet, the Chaos Dwarf player is doing well at hiding their Sorcerer Prophet behind this tower here, so he's not being shot. But, yeah. Because if you're wasting shots on the Hobgoblin Cutthroats, they do have bronze shields, so it's kind of mitigating some of those shots as well. They do have the Shieldbreaker, but again, it's just the Hobgoblin Cutthroats just aren't really worth the ammo. But if that's all you can shoot at, might as well shoot at them. Rat Ogres do get summoned in to try to mitigate them, and wow, look at that charge there, my god. The Hobgoblin Cutthroats got absolutely destroyed. Night Runners being run off some of this Poison Wind Globes. We do have point 1 going back to this Skaven side is 1229 to 296. Might be a little too late here, but we do have a resurgence of Skaven units being sent in. Point 3 might be taken by the Skaven side, though these Clan Rat Spears are probably going to rat as soon as they even make contact with those Hobgoblin Cutthroats. Though we do have Night Runners. But yeah, these Wolf Raiders coming in, and some of these sneaky gets. It's just a little too late there. Ashen Triad summoned in. But yeah, this will be going to the Chorf side. Well played to both players. Just really unfortunate losing a lot of your Skaven Slaves to that initial Burning Head. Obviously they're cheap to resummon, but you don't want them to have to be resummoned so early on. Because there goes any of your holding power for any of the points. I think as soon as Skaven player lost point 1, I think it kind of just sealed in the deal. Sorry, Bucky. I forgot, as per usual. That's just me in general. I forget stuff. Next time, for sure, I will let you know if I can remember. But I try to host one every Thursday. It's just sometimes life is a mess, and I don't get to it. But I'll try to remember next time. Rat Ogres, trying to save Ikedzap's up. Ikedzap has no ammunition. How much value did it get? 1256? Not too shabby. It was mostly just shooting at the Sorcerer Prophet the entire game. Sorcerer Prophet finally close to routing, and it does end up routing, but again, too late. It's 1460 at this moment, so just a little too hyper focused on finishing off the SEs. Obviously, screening out the Sorcerer Prophet was great with the Ikedzap, but that's all you really need. Those Warplock Giselles and whatnot need to be firing at the more expensive pieces or more detrimental pieces like the Kadai Fireborn, Chaos Dwarfs, etc. What is my cat doing right now? Let's look at these values here real quick. 1269 for the Sorcerer Prophet. 654. 1105 for the Infernal Castle. Not bad. I'm not entirely sure what they were shooting at. Most likely at Icket in the entire game. Which is why he was so low. But yeah, maybe a secret tech there. Bringing them against even considering that Doom Will isn't hard to see. So, and they can hold down a point. SEs, for those new players who don't know, are honestly really, really good in Dom. Even if they're just like a base foot hero like the Infernal Castellan. Not only are they just putting in those relatively low DPS shots into a unit or a lord, but they can hold down a point and they have pretty good cap weight at 3. So I think heroes are at, might be 2 actually. I think infantry is 3. I think heroes are 2. Yeah. But goblin laborers, cutthroats, you know, not a whole lot of value here. The hobgoblin archers actually paid for themselves, surprisingly. These guys are not great, to be honest, and you're not going to see that too often. So, pretty spectacular sight there. They didn't really get shut down at all, contested. Everything else, G'day Fireborn did good. 1,075 value on those guys. Magma Cannon unfortunately was not brought in. 824 on Ikit Claw. Some unfortunate misses with those Flensing Ruins, and just not great cast in general. But generally, you want to hold those out for any blobs. And not just kind of spend them on a single unit. That's where you're gonna get a lot of your value at. You're gonna be using it on any blobs that your opponent hasn't noticed. 1326, 1260. These guys did great. Rattling guns. If you're gonna bring those out, you definitely need to have some rat ogres in your back pocket to support them, or the Eshin triads nearby to screen out any cav getting on top of them, because losing them out so early was pretty tough. 90 Booba Sharpshooters did great. Rat ogres did fine. Well played to both players. I don't know. Does it sound bad? Does it sound better than usual? Let me see how the brackets are. Put the blocker back up. Okay, we still have a few matches going. I'm going to, at this time, edit the maps as, again, I forgot to before. I'm a professional tournament host, as I said. I have no idea why it's... I actually noticed that as well. And when I was listening back to one of my streams one of these days, and I don't know, I don't understand why, because people are constantly telling me I'm extremely quiet on Discord, and it's just weird compared to the only thing is on Discord I have noise suppression, but I've tried it on and off, and it still kind of sounds the same. Change. Okay, cool. I'll keep Glade of the Everqueen. I do love Glade of the Everqueen. I'm going to switch out Halls of Character Drum for Crater. And actually, maybe not Crater Decay. I don't think it's good for new players. I'll do Graveyard of Altdorf. I do love me a Graveyard of Altdorf. What else? What other maps? Let me check out the maps real quick. Just so I can try to remember. Can't remember if Ragnarok Lair is good or not. Battered Bluff. I don't know. But yeah, see, that's the issue. I don't play on some of these maps before. Arbiter's Grounds. Might want to check that out. I haven't played it yet, so throw it in there. Worth experimenting with. Lost Temples, Lost Isles, I think of Kochan. Let's see. I don't know. I do like Osushi Castle, I think. Yeah. Let me throw that in there. Rest of the just so I don't forget for doesn't really matter. I'll throw Osushi Castles in there. And let's see what about the final map. You do Road to Val's Anvil. I do like Road to Val's Anvil. A solid map. Alright. Got the maps changed. I could change Glade of the Everqueen. As much as I like that map, it is played quite often. And it would be nice to experiment more with the different ones that people have made. My issue is actually remembering some of these. Sure, I'll put Dalawime Crater in. I don't know anything about it, so rather a good majority of them I don't know about. Because typically the only maps that are really run are like a select few in most like sweatier tournaments, I guess. That's weird, Alex. Because Gwen constantly tells me that I'm quiet. Same with other people. Yeah, let me see, Bucky. User settings, voice and video. I do have my input device at max. Yeah, and again with like when I'm playing with Duke and whatnot in the tabletop. I mean the what does he call it? His system, his RPG system. He kind of tells me once in a while that I'm very quiet. So I don't know. Yeah, tabletop really. I don't know if the annualize in here. I don't think so. No, I would love for it to be, but I don't think so. Yeah, because this is the Total Tavern one. So it would be interesting to see if we can get that in there because I think it's a pretty solid map. All right, we still have two more, and then oop, what the hell did I just do? I bookmarked it. That's what I did. Yeah, we just got one more, Anarian and Echo. Let me just check, see if I have any other admin stuff to do. Things seem to be going okay. Somebody's just figuring out how to input their scores and whatnot. Thanks, Bookie. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you next time. I'll try to let you know again if the next new player tournament. Alright, still waiting on the one. You check a few things here. Checking a few things on Discord. Alright. Alright, 1 second guys, I will be right back while we wait for the last match to finish. Alright, I'm back. See how things are looking. Okay. Things have proceeded. We will move on to the second round. Somebody thought it was Conquest. I was like, I thought they were mixing up like languages or something. But no, they thought it was a Conquest tournament. Which, to be fair, I did want to host a Conquest tournament. It's just I wasn't sure if there would be any turnout really. Oh, I have to. Did I edit the? Yeah, I did. Okay. All right. Do you have an offer to watch a WE mirror? All right. Okay. Should be good to go. I just have to get the match code from Original Echo. There we go. Alright, we do have Selanius up against Echo Vampire. Or rather, just Echo. That's just what they call themselves on Steam. Close this real quick. Close a few things. It's okay if people don't notice that this one is supposed to be the new map, but I would prefer people make the further rounds accurate to said maps, because I'm fine with Glazed Everqueen. Pretty sure it's supposed to be Talon Corridor, not Road to Talon. Yeah. Talibheim. I spelled it wrong. That's why. No, that's right. Talibheim. But the people, the map makers, made two spellings here: Road to Talibheim and Talibheim Crater. Yeah. So there's Talibheim, and then there's Talibheim. But cool. A Wood Elf mirror should be fun. I mean, in general, most mirror matches in general aren't too fun to watch, but I'll make an exception for Wood Elf mirror. Because if I think there's any faction out there in this game that could have a fun mirror match, I think it would be Wood Elves. I think a few others, maybe like Warriors of Chaos, gonna be too shabby. It just depends on how diverse the roster is and how fun the actual faction is to watch play. I think Wood Elves are plenty fun to play. Rather plenty fun to watch play. Play as well, but I don't play them. Got a message here, gotta check that out. Okay. Alright, yeah, just good to go. Let's see how these armies are doing. Okay, okay. Interesting. About what I would expect. But yeah, I mean, Warriors of Chaos. What else? Maybe Lizardmen? I don't know. Lizardmen, you're probably generally going to see the same thing. Probably same for Dwarfs as well. You probably see the same thing there. Not sure. Maybe Ogres, no. But how about the other elves? I think a High Elf Mirror match could be okay as well. Yeah, generally few exceptions. You have a Wood Elf Mirror, Sisters of Twilight. Most likely going to be on a dragon. And we do have a Spell Weaver. Yeah, it's going to dragon. Looking at these start positions, that's very interesting. Very, very thin. Or like very, I don't know. We'll see. Another message here. Bongo doesn't seem to be replying. Okay. Not good. Let me check something out real quick. When did the tournament? When did this round start? 120 or so. So all right. All right. So Sisters of Twilight on their dragon with You do have conjoined destiny. Actually, I don't know if you can even like pay to, if you have to pay for that or not. I don't remember. Let's say it's on Har's tenacity for that weapon damage increase and charge bonus with a certain HP threshold. The Eternal Guard with shields be the front line. We do have Glade Guard in the back line with Hagbane tips, about 5 of them in total. And then you do have some Deepwood Scouts vanguarded up to the point. For the other Wood Elf side, we do have a Spellweaver of Dark on. Is it on foot or? No, it's on horseback with Loic's Blessing and Power of Darkness. Interesting. Never usually see that. And Blade Wind. Cool. Rarely ever see Blade Wind. Kind of love to see that. Power of Darkness going to be reducing some of the HP of that Deepwood Scout for some power recharge. Yeah, you usually never see that. I haven't seen it since really Warhammer 2. So interesting. Blade Riders with Spears. Already vanguarded up and taking point 3. Glade Guard with Hagbane tips going to be really making up the range components for these Wood Elves as well. This is a whole lot of range. My god. We have some Starfire Shafts as well for any AP needs. Dryad Summit in as well. This year's gonna start sniping in at the Spellweaver. Shot immediately blocked by the building there, but take another one and does, you know, okay into the Deepwood Scouts. Yeah, very cheap, fast Vanguard Cav like the Glade Riders are pretty great in domination. You can take these points extremely quickly. Now in domination, considering the points unlock immediately rather than after a certain time like before. It's already these Wood Elf players are racking up points up to 40 already. Just from doing that. We do have some Wild Riders and shields sent over, possibly gonna take that back, we'll see. I end up needing to turn that back down. Shots going in on those Glade Riders, or rather Glade Guard. They're gonna mostly just screening out the Sister of Twilight. Not really worth staying in range of them, if I'm being honest. Better to poke out of range and just continue poking at the Spellweaver, if need be. Or at the Glade Riders. A mill cost thrown in on these Glade Riders, gonna just slowly whittle them down and decrease their speed. We do have a branch rate summon, I didn't notice. With mill cost. The other Trickster Shard for that minus 20% spell resist and for enemies in a 55 meter range. Earth Blood as well, and Squirrel shooting for that 20% ward save. You have some Wild Riders summoned in for the other Wood Elves. Do great here, as they have. Although we do have some Eternal Guard here as well. Will the Wood Elf player notice in time? Nope. They're gonna get a cycle. They're gonna get a rear charge, unfortunately, on their Wild Riders. Eternal Guard are coming over to support, however. Hopefully they can catch up. Point 2 is in the hands of these Wood Elves. A Blade Wind gonna be ripping through those Glade Guard. Oh my god, that is a beautiful Blade Wind there. That is just wonderful, tearing through those Glade Guard there. So, how much wins is Blade Wind? I don't recall. 11. I'm not entirely sure if it's worth it, but it's not shabby. Another Power of Darkness going on top of these Glade Guard. You have these Glade Guard routed off completely. Shattered, in fact. Point 3 remains in the hands of Echo. But Sylvanas is pushing them back. Sylvanas is also taking point 1 and point 2, so right now it is a 2-point cap, but eventually it will be a 3-point cap unless Echo has something to say about it. Sister's taking quite a bit of damage from the range of the Wood Elves, and oh my god, they are taking a lot. But meanwhile, the Glade Guard are being shot in the back by the Glade Guard of Sylvanas. Or Selanius, I'm saying their name wrong. Join Destiny popped, and they're getting that HP regen, but oh my god, look how fast she's dying. Jesus Christ. Yeah, investing the Sister of Twilight so early on into that fight was not a good idea, and there she falls. A very, very big costal, what? Priceful unit being lost so early on. Blade Wind ripping through these Glade Guard and even getting to the Hagmane tips as well. Doing some solid work there. Look at the value real quick on the Spellweaver. They were very close to sniping out the Spellweaver, but honestly it was not worth the investment at all, considering the Spellweaver is so cheap to summon back out again. But Catfight looking to be going better for this Selanius' favor, though we do have some more Glade Riders and Spears coming over as well to finish chasing off those Glade Riders. Wild Rider summoned in from Echo, going to run through and try to stop these Wild Riders from getting on top of the back line of their back line. And then we have some more Wild Riders as well. Point 1 possibly being taken by these Glade Riders sneakily. But things aren't looking too hot for Echo at the moment, despite their catch on the Sisters of Twilight. Kind of mostly being pushed back on all points, but I mean maybe point 1 being taken will be the turning point for them. Value-wise, despite losing the Sisters of Twilight so early on, Selanius is doing incredibly well, and only about 600 points behind. There's the Wild Riders tied in with these other Wild Riders and Dryads at the moment, trying to pull out, but I think they're going to be stuck in combat until they rout. Blade Riders jump in as well. We do have another Blade Wind, presumably. Going to be doing not as great as the previous ones, but it is going to catch onto a few models to okay. Might even get to these Dryads. We'll see. I don't think so. No, it does not. We have an Earthblood hitting these Wild Riders, trying to keep them in the fight. Same with these Glade Guard. Hagmane tips. Deepwood Scouts and Glade Guards still shooting in here. Gonna get some decent volleys into the Deepwood Scouts. Just caught this counter firing with them. Point 1 unfortunately did not end up getting taken back by Echo. Which is quite unfortunate, though we do have some Dryads being sent over, hopefully to finish capturing that point. As things are getting very, very distant here in terms of points. Really gotta catch up, but point 2 is Selanius is being pushed off of point 2. Wild Riders, Dryads. We have a whole bunch more cap weight on point 2 at the moment than what else. Though Wild Riders finally make it to the point, even though they are being caught out by Wild Riders as well. Getting very confusing here with the describing the units. Yeah, point 2 is going to remain in the hands of Selanius. Echo was making a solid push there, but unfortunately it is not going to be enough. Dryads do get caught out by Glade Riders as well, though Glade Riders are obviously losing that fight. Once they finish off with the Glade Riders, they can continue on to point 1, but Selanius is playing it well there and keeping back those Dryads and giving them more time to rack up more points in the meantime. Point 3 is uncontested, unfortunately. Some Dryads would do nice there, being sent over. But at the moment, Echo is a bit preoccupied with the main push from point 2. Wild Riders just wreaking havoc in their back line, running through the Glade Guard, and making it tough for Echo to make any progress, really. Spellweaver possibly going to end up routing here, we'll see. Glade Riders being unsummoned. Dryads finish off those Glade Riders and are making it to the point, though we do have more Wild Riders summoned in. But I'm surprised we haven't seen the ROR variant yet. Or any Stag Knights. Why are the Wild... No, don't turn around! Oh, I guess they're going to screen them out with the Dryads. Well played there by Echo. Though they're going to take quite a bit of damage. They tried to countercharge the Wild Riders, but yeah, it wasn't really... didn't turn out great. Dryads took a lot more damage than needed to be. But maybe they are just trying to focus on point 1 and giving them time. Will they catch it? No, they didn't catch it in time. No. Quite unfortunate. And now it's going to be swarmed by bodies of the Wood Elves. But yeah, it does look like Echo has been shut out completely, quite unfortunately. Just a very, very heavy investment in all that range and very little infantry aside from the 3 initial dryads. And Solanius has just played this extremely well, making sure to give themselves enough time to bring in more reinforcements as they hold back the Wood Elves' approach. Lug's blessing is popped at the moment, so Spellweaver, I think, is not seen by the enemy, which is good, as in they can't get caught out. Or sniped out, rather, but I think it only gives you unspottable for, like, a certain area, so... Blade Wind gonna do some good work here through these Wild Riders. But it's actually gonna turn around and do, some friendly fire, unfortunately, into these Glade Riders as well. Actually, no, it was Echo had the Blade Wind, excuse me. So yeah, that did great. It was better for them. Yeah, this is kind of why I don't catch the mirror matches. Sometimes it gets a bit too confusing on who is casting what, who's Eternal Guard or which, etc. Yeah, well played to both players. And as well with Solanius. Solanius invested pretty well into Blade Guard as well, but they had Eternal Guard right off the beginning. That were able to hold down points. I mean, excuse me, Echo did use the Glade Riders as well, capturing those points early on. But fortunately, did not get enough infantry out soon enough. I'm really, really surprised we didn't see the Wild Rider ROR here. They would have done fantastic at fighting other Wild Riders. I liked both builds. It was fun. Yeah, it was good fun, Echo. It was good fun. I do like to see some Wood Elves. Well played. He disagreed to full cav on both sides. That would have been pretty fun. Could have seen the Lost Silver Knights as well. Yeah, the Wood of Cav is just doing beautiful work lately, so I would not have minded seeing double full Cav builds for both sides. Finishing their matches. don't join back. Okay, let me see. Will do. Join back as a spectator. Let me see. Oh, they're gonna do double calf. Okay, they're just doing double calf in the meantime while we wait for the remaining matches to be finished. Fun stuff. Yeah, quite unfortunate. Diarrhea Storm and Iron Thunder could have played against each other, but it's a little too late. Buys do really suck in turn. Obviously, it's nice to get a free win, but I think most people would just generally rather actually play the game. And again, as I've always talked about with most Swiss matches, it just sucks that you lose out on like OPP opponent wins as a tiebreaker. Full cab build. We got a Glade Lord, most likely on a Stag, presumably. Lost Sylvan Knights up first. Nice. We have a High Mage Spell Weaver with presumably Apotheosis. Goofy builds. Soul Quench. She has Soul Quench. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, for Solanius, we do have of Discord on the Glade Lord, who is on horseback, no stag, with the banner of the Hunter King. Never really seen this item. Charge bonus 10%, melee attack, and cause fear for any allies in range. Also call the woods for those that melee attack increase. A bunch of wild riders with shields, Glade Riders, and the Lost Sylvan Knights. Great Stag Knight ROR, Glade Riders with spears. Yeah, just a full cav rush from both sides. Should be fun stuff. Spell Weaver high with Soul Quench, and then we got that Loke's Blessing, of course. Looks best in being popped on those Wild Riders. A little too late though, as they already see them. They're gonna get a charge on them from behind. Neat trick though. Wild Riders do get a surround here on these. Actually, what the heck just happened there? That was so weird. I thought it was something like that, but no, they got into that fight there. Lost Sylvan Knights do get a wonderful charge here on these Glade Riders. Glade Riders obviously not going to enjoy that fight, and Lost Sylvan Knights are going to do beautifully there. We'll see. Glade Riders being finished off by these guys. Lost Sylvan Knights take a Soul Quench. Does okay, knocks out a few models, not too shabby there. For a relatively cheap spell. What do we got here? 7 wins. Yeah, not too bad. You have, what is this? Something being unsummoned? What was that there? I have no idea. Over on point 3, we do have Wild Riders engaged and fighting over the point. We also have some great stag knights here as well. See, there's elk. Pretty cool unit. I love the great stag knights. They're such a freaking cool unit, but they are so glass cannony. But they're not doing too shabby. Point 2 in the hands of Alanius. Point 3 most likely be going to Echo, but actually things are turning around as we have more Wild Riders sent over. Glade Lord fighting. He said, if I gotta do it myself, then I will. So he's up here and here. Look at him do that 360 freaking no scope on that guy. My god, that was nuts. Even the Spellweaver is trying to throw hands as well, and I don't think it's going as well for her as it is for the Glade Lord. I mean, she's surrounded by these pokey spears, just being stabbed on her little horse. This is another Soul Quench. Soul Quench to try to get her out of that mess, but I don't think it's happening. I think she's stuck in there for good. Though we do have Lost Sylvan Knights fighting in there. Or rather, though we do have some Wild Riders sent in there to try to get her out. And they do. She does get out of there. Escapes. Lost Sylvan Knights coming over, trying to finish off those guys. Looking like it's going a lot better for Solania's at 8,000 to 5,000. Do have some Hawk Riders. I find it funny these are considered cav, but they are flying missile cav. Gonna get a charge in here on the Lost Sylvan Knights. They don't have magic attacks, do they? I don't think they do. No, they don't. But they did deny the Lost Sylvan Knights the charge, which obviously the Lost Sylvan Knights, they really want their charge, as they have a pretty high charge bonus of 77. 70 base with 7 of it being Frenzy. But Wild Riders coming in as well to support over here on this flank. We have the Glade Riders and other Wild Riders engaged. Definitely probably going to these two Wild Riders at engagement. Spellweaver being chased down by the Glade Lord. He's hunting for her. Will he get that shot off real quick? No, he doesn't. Point 3 in the hands of Solania. Same with point 2. Obviously, they're not actually going for points. It's just for fun. But Wild Riders coming over, trying to get away from this entire engagement as they are outnumbered 4-1. Hawk Riders doing as pitiful as usual. 7 kills, 314 value. Spellweaver might end up running away here. We'll see. She is wavering down to 0 leadership. And will she go into negative? Yeah, she does. And there she goes. She's out of there. I think it's so fun seeing the Glade Lord there. Man, I love the Lost Sylvan Knights. Look at these guys. They're so freaking cool. $15.45 on these guys, 11.18, 18.38 on these Wild Riders, 1,043, 1,052. Three Stagnant did not too shabby, 1,040 value. I meant to check the reinforcements, but I didn't. Brain just kind of shorted out there. But let's see, I think we're done with round 2. Yeah, it seems we do have Hardboiled and Hammered Zebra still up, but yeah, that was a fun build. That was a fun time. Let's see something real quick. Yeah, the Lost Sylvan Knights do have that Frenzy, which is pretty nice. Getting them the ITP, but they already cost Terra anyway, so I think they got like an HP increase, like 1,000 or so. But we got 2 Wood Elf mirrors there. How did I not see the Wild Hunters of Kurnus? excuse me. They would have done fantastic against the Lost Silver Knights. 700. Yeah, that's not too shabby. Finding out why no one plays Coast. Yeah, my units might take forever to do that. A poor unfortunate new player has picked Coast. They're very tough to learn early on. You think so? You think so? I guess, yeah, to be fair, I guess that makes sense. You typically want to bring them against a faction that has heavy cav, right? So, because they trade up into heavy cav. Obviously, probably not going to trade great into non-armored cav like Wild Riders, right? I like seeing the Galador Lord. You never see that guy at all. Yeah, the bonus. Plus, they do have the, of course, the magical attacks as well, which is obviously fantastic. Magical attacks, great AP. They don't have like amazing melee stats. 43, 39. I mean, that's still pretty good, obviously. But that doesn't really matter as much as the charge bonus. They have a fantastic charge bonus of 62. Great Stag Knights just barely beat them out by 8 charge bonus. So what am I saying? They don't have a great stat. What am I talking about? 43, 39 is insane for a cav unit. Am I like high right now? Because typically what you see for like a lot of cav is like say with like lances. You see a really high charge bonus and like around this stat line. While the base variants typically have like a much better melee defense. But charge bonus is what matters here a lot more. Charge bonus dictates a lot of cav fights. A lot more chaos. Is there, you mean actual chaos? Is there a lot of chaos factions going on right now? Or is it just like extremely hectic? I see some Nurgle, I see some Corn. More Corn, Demon of Chaos. More Corn. That is quite a bit of demons. We have 1 Lizardman, 2 Lizardmen. From Hammered Zebra and Spaz. 3 Lizardmen total. Some Beastmen, Corn, Bretonia. Oh, I missed Zinch. Yeah, there is quite a bit of chaos, actually. To be fair, those were some beautiful Blade Winds there. I really like Blade Wind. I just can never... It's just hard to make it work considering how, you know, Vortex spells and considering how much it costs. I mean, 11 isn't terrible considering, I think, how much is it for... Gateway is 18. What else? I think... Is Banishment? How much is Banishment? But though nobody really uses Banishment nowadays. Yeah, it's not too shabby for a Vortex spell. That's very, very cheap. Huh. I've been sleeping on that Blade Wind. It did pretty nuts work there. I'm always just like very cautious with the Vortex spells though, because, you know, they can really backfire. Whenever I do take Dark, I do like to bring just Show in mostly. The Power of Darkness. Did that, how what did that do for you? Did you get some pretty good wins there from that? Yeah, it's actually relatively cheap, as you said. For a vortex spell, it's not bad. 18 with 22% AP. What's the overcast? Overcast is extended effect duration. Well, what? How long? Double, so 14 seconds. Not too shabby. Trying to think of Toxic Isha. What was it? Is it Tempest or is it? Yeah. Oscar Miska is 13 and there's 0% AP on it. With only 6 DPS. It does provide that discouraged effect. And it doesn't like affect your friendly troops, which is nice. So it's in that realm really. Of AoEs rather. Or wins. Wins. Why am I struggling with the words here? Pit is 15. Yeah, that's not bad. Vortex spell. Yeah, I would never pay for banishment. That's why I bring a wonderful little slan coming with that free banishment. Not really free, but with how much you get, how much value you get as a slan, it might as well be free. When did I start the round? It's been how long? 30 minutes? Not bad. No, been longer. Yeah, about 30 minutes. No 40. Let me see how they're doing. Zero's lagging badly. How do you know? Did you hop in on the match? Basically a slideshow. Oh, that's really rough. Ah, that sucks. Yeah, that's tough. But I mean, I don't know. I could start the next round and just have them input the score in after, but that'd be too difficult because they have to wait. Their opponents would have to wait for them. So. What's the are you spectating right now, Echo? What's the score looking like for both players? Is it close at all or is it still first two capping? Okay. Well, I'd probably give it maybe 5-10 more minutes, but I don't know. That's a tough call there. How long to actually give them? My host of Conquest. See if anybody wants to play that. In the meanwhile, I will definitely dip out of it as soon as the match is over. Be triple capped. Okay. The um. Like something. Oh, this is about 5 more minutes. Okay. In that case, everybody get. In that case, it's probably not worth starting a conquest match real quick. In that case, let me take a ration break. I'll grab some water. We'll be right back. We did it. The long fight is over. Hello. I'm back. I guess I'm perfect timing too. Slideshow is finally over. Wonderful. Let us move on the bracket. The bracket on. Was it you or was it your? I guess you can't really know, huh? who's the one lagging, but nonetheless, uh, brackets are advanced, where you can go find their matches. Echo, you're up against Diarrhea. Zebra, you're up against Navigator. Iron Thunder, you're up against Rockdar. Galanius against Benspear. Yoriyuki up against Hardboiled. Yeah, that round took quite a bit. $14-minute. Jeez. Yeah, that's really, really tough. Oh my god. Oh man, if they would just give us dedicated servers, dude. I mean they're never going to, and they definitely had the opportunity a long time ago, but oh well, what can you do? Let me message somebody real quick. Actually, I'll just join which one I see. I was thinking of checking in on Iron Thunder's lobby, but can't be bothered right now. I'll just spectate in a random one. I already seen this person play. I mean that might be worth watching, but no. Let me see somebody else. 1 second. Okay, we got one. Seems like we do have the greenskins up against Nurgle. How would I fare this match up against each other? I would say it's greenskins favored, but with Nurgles having Pestigors and Chaos Furies being as good as they are, plus obviously the Soul Grinders, I don't think I'd put it like too far ahead in Greenskin's favor. Let me check the actual stat. Total Tavern, see if we've had any of those matches actually. Nurgle against finish with Greenskins. Wrong thing. So for Nurgle against Greenskins, we only have a small sample pool of 3 matches, but so far it's gone better than the Greenskins. But if we look back at, say, previous Greenskins here against Nurgle. Actually, it says that Nurgle is a little bit favored there. Much bigger sample pool, 14 to 12. there for greenskins. So yeah, might be a little tighter than I'd say. Probably about 50-50. See here. Greenskins, Miracle, 3-1. So, you know, not a whole lot of sample aside from that one. But I would say, yeah, it's put it a little bit more in Greenskin's favor, but I think Nurgle has a good chance to win it as well. Nurgle has the benefit of having like relatively speedy infantry. Pestigor's having what, 38 speed, while everything on Greenskin side, aside from Night Goblins, having around 30-ish speed. Orc Boys having 31. Night Goblins having 35. Nasty Skulkers do have 37, so they can compete with them. Get to the point as fast. Surprisingly, Savage Orc, or I don't know, they were 37 speed too. Cool. Yeah, Savage Orcs have 37 speed, and they would trade extremely effectively into Pestigors. Savage Orcs having that physical resistance that Pestigors are going to have trouble bypassing, considering they don't have magical attacks, and their AP will be wasted on them. What would I like to see here from the Greenskins? Definitely not whatever this. This is a funny build. Geospheres are still a bit of a nuisance, but with them having much less HP, it'll be easier to screen them out with, say, like Squig Herds or even just like Goblin Wolf Raiders, which are kind of pitiful in melee, but Spider Riders would probably do better. Let's see, I get a message here. All right. What did I catch? I caught something. Greenskins, we do have a Night Goblin War Boss with, presumably on his Squig, with Get Back Here, Tormentor Sword, Spited the Bad Moon for that bonus versus large and weapon strength increase, and a Chaos Lord for Nurgle with a Cultist of Nurgle and a presumably a Nurgle caster. Whoa, whoa, whoa! They changed the map. What? Whoa, what? Huh? Is this the total? Is this the total Tavern variant? Or is this the CA? Did CA? Hold on. When did they change this? I'm guessing CA didn't change this. I don't think Graveyard of Outdoor was added in, right? Whoa. Hello. What happened? Okay. That's interesting. Anyways, War Boss on a Squig with Tormentor Sword, Spider the Bamboo, as I said, Fermented Fungi. And, of course, he has the boss's loons and Potion of Full Hardness for that 40% charge bonus and Unbreakable. Goblin Wolf Raiders will be vanguarded up with the Morgrom's Mangy Marauders and the Death Creepers, Spider Rider Archer ROR. We have 3 Savage Orc Biggins, that'll be the 4 for the infantry for the greenskins. Rusty Arrows and some Night Goblin Archers as well. Night Goblin Shaman with Itchy Nuisance. But Cursed, okay. Oh no, we have another one of these occurrences with the Curse of the Bad Moon. Yeah, we'll see. Sneaky Stabbing as well. You have Goblin Big Boss with They Need Stabbing and Sword of Anti-Heroes plus pretty much full kits for a lot of these guys. For the Nurgle side, we do have a Chaos Lord of Nurgle with the Father of Blades for that weapon strength increase and melee attack debuff, which I think is pretty nice. I generally think that item's okay. I don't remember the price though. He is on foot as well. Warrior Bane for that 8% weapon strength decrease debuff, and Icon of Eternal Virulence. It's a when I think in melee, yeah, it goes through certain stages. It takes time. Chaos Warriors will be the front line. We do have a Soul Grinder as well. Chaos Sorcerer with Regrowth, Fleshy Abundance, and Rancid Visitations. But he must be using those Fleshy Abundance on, say, like the Soul Grinder and I don't know, any other important pieces that are brought out. Nurglings summoned out to get onto point 3. We do have Chaos Furies catching up the Goblin Wolf Riders. And yeah, they're going to route very, very quickly down to -8 leadership, or down to 8 leadership 6. They got the Goblin Wolf Raiders turned around at the last moment, so they got that attacked in the rear penalty, which is quite unfortunate. But we do see the Dirkit Squigs Hoppers coming over to help out, and they should do great into the Chaos Furies, as they do have bonus versus large. They don't have magic attacks, but or bonus versus infantry rather, but they do have bonus versus infantry. And Chaos Furies being infantry size would do great into them. Goblin Big Boss making it to the point, and I'm gonna start contesting point 2, but we did have Nurgles heroes making there as well. Point 1 is in the hands of the greenskins, well caught out by the greenskins. Dirkit Squigs barely took any damage really from fending off those Chaos Furies, and they should be able to do great into the Nurglings as well. Point 2 going in the cap weight of Nurgle, but now that the Chaos Warriors are making it to the point and they Savage Orcs aren't on there yet, it'll be switching over to Nurgle's cap weight. Night Goblin War Boss just running amok in the back line of Nurgle's side, stopping those Chaos Warriors from getting to the point, which is great. These Plague Toads get summoned in, are going to make their way over to point 3 to help support. Point 3 is in the hands of Nurgle now, as we have more infantry making its way, though we do have some nasty Skulkers summoned in. Goblin Wolf Raiders are back and can go around. They're getting some rear charges, maybe stop the Plague Toads from getting into the fight, or maybe stop the Soul Grinder from shooting. Point 2 is in the hands of nobody at the moment. We're about now in the hands of Nurgle, but Greenskins can definitely take this back. It's just right now it's a big old blob fight, really. The Nurgle is doing great, or taking exactly what they want here with the Icon of Eternal Virulence. They're just going to try to grind down anything that the Greenskins throw at this point. Night Goblin Shaman gets routed off. He gets hit with the Rancid Visitations as well. Father of Blades bringing him down to 0 melee attack. He might end up dying there to the Rancid Visitations. Yeah, 700 HP, and I think he's gone. We'll see. Do have the Mingums, the Morgums, Ranger Marauders, and the Death Creepers being screened out by the Chaos Furies. Night Goblin Warboss is attempting to help, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think they're going to be running off those skirmish cav. Rusty Arrows and Night Goblin Archers are doing great work, just firing in there at the cultist. Though I wouldn't really be shooting at the cultist, definitely would be shooting at the Soul Grinder right now, as he is in range. Kind of a wasted opportunity right now, shooting at a foot hero. Yeah, Sorcerer Lord is getting into the Rusty Arrows. Need something to deal with that. Maybe bring in the Goblin Big Boss over here to help out with that. As the I think he's generally a better fighter. Yeah, he's definitely a better fighter than the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. Plague Toads are helping out with this fight against the Nasty Skulkers and the Dirkest Squighops, who definitely should be not like totally engaged here with the Plague Toads. Definitely need to be taken out and maybe sent over to point 1. Just bring in more infantry. And that's what we do see right now. We do see a bunch of Night Goblins and Nasty Skulkers. This is mostly I guess aside from the Savage Orcs, this is mostly a Goblin army. We do have the Apex Loonies as well, being sent over to point 1. Chaos Furies do screen out and run off those skirmish cav for the Goblin side, but they obviously can't capture the point, so the Apex Loonies are going to go over to secure it. I think the Night Goblin Warboss definitely needs to probably come over here to point 3. That fermented fungi could help out a lot with these engagements, and maybe catch out, say, like the Sorcerer Lord. Range components are finally being shut down by the Nurgle player. These Night Goblin Archers finished off. Where did the Rusty Arrows go, though? Are the Rusty Arrows completely gone? Oh, here they are. They're being still engaged with the Chaos Sorcerer Lord and Chaos Warriors. They should be gone soon. Down to 6 leadership. Point 3 still in the hands of the Greenskins. Well fought. Even the Moonhowlers came back. Point 2 in the hands of Nurgle. As Nurgle has mostly focused on point 2, sending over a little over to point 3. It's been great for the Greenskins to be able to send out more speedier units and more cost-effective units over to these points. This is definitely how you need to play against a build such like what Nurgle has brought. You're going for, again, a more like grindier approach and expecting you to fight them head on. So if you're avoiding the Hero Hammer squad, all the better. Though Sorcerer Lord is coming over and might make the difference on this point. What is this, a Fleshy Abundance? It's most likely, yeah. Hitting Plague Toads possibly? Or is it the Chaos Warriors? Yeah, it's going to be hitting the Chaos Warriors, healing them up. It's going to be pretty cost effective there. Point 3 might start going over to the Nurgle side, we'll see. As a lot of the Greenskins units start to rout off. Routing units do still have some cap weight, so it does take a while. You gotta wait for those guys to go off, and you'll go off the point, and you'll start making your start capturing points faster. Squig herds being summoned in, gonna try to help out with that point over there. Night Goblin Archer still shooting in, gonna be getting some shots, side shots into the Chaos Warriors. Chaos Warriors do have 100 armor, however, so very little AP on the Night Goblin Archers, so not gonna be doing a whole lot. But that poison effect does help out with engagements. Chaos Furies pushing into the back line, continuing to chase off any routing units, though we do have the Squig herds coming in. We should get a good engagement there. AP Loonies kind of just sitting idly by, should probably be sent over to help out with the back line here, as nothing is really being sent to contest on point 1 at the moment for Greenskins. Squig herds going into the fight here and trying to contest the point. And they're actually providing more cap weight. Possibly we'll be able to take that back, we'll see. Night Goblins should go around theoretically and get onto the point. As they do have a few models here on the point, which is nice. So they're starting to put in some cap weight. We also have some other Night Goblins coming as well. I think it'd be better just to keep these guys on the side. Keep them away from the engagement, though surrounding those Chaos Warriors isn't too bad of an idea either. Rusty Arrows did come back, but are now being interrupted by the Chaos Sorcerer Lord, who's just causing a bit of havoc in their back line. Stopping them from shooting is obviously fantastic. We do have a Doom Diver catapult that I missed out on, and right now getting some shots in here or there, but It's now being disrupted by the Chaos Furies, who do have the nasty Skulkers here, who do fantastic into them. Up to 62 melee attack from that wall there, absolutely shredding those Chaos Furies apart, and gonna be saving the Doomdiver Catapult. Seeing those Pestigors summoned in from the Nurgle side, definitely want to send in those AP Cloonies to stop them from getting to the point. Though we do have the Rot Knights summoned in as well, however, so maybe that's not a great choice. Definitely going to need something to deal with them. Fermented Fungi could be great at stopping those guys. If they get us around on the Night Goblin War Boss, it's not going to be great, but the Night Goblin War Boss is relatively cheap to bring out. Though, Greenskins player seems to be stopping their charge, allowing the AP Gloonies to get on top of them without taking much damage. I think the loons of the loons would be fantastic here. A nice little, yeah, and one gets summoned in, one gets thrown in. I think, what are they called? That's just what they're called for this unit in particular. I forgot what they're called. The actual ability, but it is okay. They're not too bad. I saw one or two. And Chaos Furies do get us around, however, on the AP Clunas. AP Clunas are unbreakable, however. They will hold that for a while. Circuit Squigs will do fantastic here into the Pestigors with their bonus versus infantry. Point 3 still in the hands of the Greenskins. Well handled there on their front. But point 1 is probably going to need... no, I think they're fine, honestly. Chaos Furies won't do great. Well, holding back the AP Clunas is great. Having them surrounded is great, but Night Goblin War Boss is going to end up routing here. Just hit with that Potion of Full Hardness, making him unbreakable for an extra 30 seconds, which is cool. Soul Grinder's coming over though, and probably going to switch the cap weight over to the Nurgle side. Yeah, we definitely need some more units in, and we do see some Savage Orc Piggins and Goblins being sent over, same with some Nasty Skulkers. Nasty Skulkers doing some great work this game, being a really cheap Vanguard AP unit for the Greenskin side. Well played there by the Greenskins, bringing those guys. You have another, I can't think of what they're called right now, but it did some pretty good work there against the Rot Knights. Let's see what the value is on those guys. 38, 864, 868, not bad there. I mean, they've been holding off two relatively expensive units. I mean, Chaos Furies aren't expensive, but the Rot Knights are extremely expensive, and the Chaos Furies could be used to shut down any ranged components of the Greenskin side. Pestigors do end up making it to the point here, and we'll fight it out with the Savage Orc Piggins. Savage Orc Piggins will do great into them, though they only have 25 melee defense, just like the Pestigors. So they'll take just as much damage in return. Yeah, right off the charge, as you can see, the Pestigors take a tremendous amount of damage, but again are dealing pretty good damage in return. I think the Savage Orc Piggins will win that eventually, though, with their physical resistance. Rot Knights get run off, but they can still receive some fleshy abundances. They still have 16 models left, and should be able to provide some good utility. We're struggling with those. What's a Doomdiver Catapult shooting in at the moment? Just shooting in at the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. Will this shot land? No, it will not. Let's see about the other two. The other three, rather. You know, it does okay work there. Not too bad. Nice. Yeah, it does. He does hit that Sorcerer Lord with a fecundity, though. I think I would have rather reserved that for something else, however, as it does have a spread range, and it's not really going to spread over there when he's over there by himself. So I understand with trying to keep your Sorcerer Lord alive. 1120 there for the Greenskin side, up to 825. You have a gold damage value lead for the Nurgle side, but points wise looking much better for the Greenskins. You have more Pestigors summoned in. Point 1 now in the hands of Nurgle. Point 3 was almost going in the hands of Nurgle thanks to the Sorcerer Lord, but he does get run off eventually. He does come back, but he does get caught out by Nasty Skulkers, and they both end up routing at the same time. And the Sorcerer Lord actually shatters. Beautiful. You have the Warlord's boys coming over. Should trade okay into the Pestigors, especially with the help of the Squig herd, and they should be able to hold on to that point. Point 2 goes relatively uncontested. Point 1 is now receiving a lot of Nurgle forces, and probably going to be held down for a little while. The Greenskin side might have to focus on point 2 and point 3 with this, with the forces being sent over. Though Rot Knights and the Soul Grinder are coming back, so maybe you can continue focusing on point 1. Do we see any more infantry coming out? Yes, we do see some Savage Orc Biggins, and the Night Goblin War Boss has returned. Night Goblins are returning as well, and same with these Night Goblin Archers. Point 3 is remaining in the hands of the Greenskins. Big Herd are going to be caught out there by the Chaos Furies, denying them of their charge, and they are much more healthy than the Squig Herds. So Squig Herds are probably going to be routing here soon. Same with these guys as well. The Feralix Bubonicers are taking some Doom Diver Catapults. I'd probably focus in that Doom Diver Catapult, considering how effectively it's doing at fighting single entities. You can either continue targeting it at, say, the Soul Grinder or at the Chaos Warriors instead, as it's not really getting much value shooting at the Nurglings at the moment. Night Goblin Archer is going to probably turning face and starting to shoot in at the Pestigors and Plague Toads, as they should, though we do have some biggins as well summoned coming over, and we're going to do great here, though we're going to need more than just that. More goblins coming back from routing. Looking like a much tighter game than initially expected, considering how effectively the Greenskins were doing. Rot Knights are back and going to be helping out with point 1. We do have some nasty Skulkers and what is that? Some Night Goblins being sent in as well. Point 3 now in the hands of Nurgle, and it looks like a point 3 shutout for the Greenskins. They really need to focus on one point if they want to scrap their way back in. But seems like point 1 seems to be their objective. Definitely would rather not send in those Wolf Raiders right there. I definitely would have tried to go for like a little sneaky play there and get onto point 1, but I understand that it probably would have made much of a difference, considering the Rot Knights are there. Did they not bring any Boarboy Big and Cav? I guess not, because if so, the Rot Knights are just going to have a field day and not going to have anything to contest them. Doom Diver Catapult finally gets shut down by the Chaos Furies, despite the Night Goblins attempting to help. And it looks like it might be going to Nurgle side, as Greenskins seem to be slowing down a bit. A lot of supply points that need to be used here for the Greenskin side, and that could be used for a very effective push on point 3. But I think it's a little too late here, as Nurgle side is making their way to 1400, and it doesn't seem like any points are being contested at that moment. But well played to both players. Good scrap fire there from the Greenskin side. But it definitely came down to small plays that allowed the Nurgle player to keep up this Soul Grinder. If the Soul Grinder was under fire from the Night Goblin Archers earlier on, if it was targeted by the Doom Diver Catapult, if Orc Boarboy Biggins were brought in, they could have effectively dealt with the Soul Grinder. But Soul Grinder was just able to wreak havoc mostly the entire game. With the Rot Knights as well. War Boss did fine. I also think the War Boss definitely needed to be used in more of the main engagements, as that fermented fungi is very, very useful. 735 here on the Goblin Big Boss. He did fine. Great Shaman unfortunately got sniped out early on and wasn't able to use much of his magic at all, really. 674, 533. Yeah, that's one of the issues as well. The Goblin Shaman was also never summoned out again, I don't think. Unless I missed out on that. Night Goblin Archers did okay. 951 on the Rusty Errors. 705 here on these guys. And everything else did okay. 1035 here on the AP Cloonies. Yeah, with those... again, I'm going to forget what they're called, but their ability, they were able to get a pretty good value on those Rot Knights, and pretty much are the only reason that the Rot Knights took so much damage in the first place. 1600 here on the Dark Squids. Dark Squids did fantastic. Like green skins, utilizing them perfectly. Yeah, Doom Diver Catapult got okay value, but definitely could have had a more. It could have had better targets. Yes, Lord, good. Did fine. Yeah, the Soul Grinder went uncontested pretty much that entire game. 1857 value there on him. Everything else. Rock Knight's 2200 freaking value there, just doing wonderful work. And again, they really had nothing to stop them. 1049, 1249, 1449, 943. Chaos Furies did beautiful. But, you know, of course, that was after multiple summons. So, well played to both players. Check out the bracket real quick. I think we're still waiting on one match. I gotcha. Yeah, just one match. Hyperman Maid and Baiji are the last two players playing at the moment. Looking like a relatively even set of players at the top. No, yeah, Karnak is legal. It just depends on who's hosting the tournaments. Karnak is legal in mine. I don't know if it's in Catholic Alcoholics. Yeah, it is there as well. I think Land Battles is where it's either limited or banned. No, not even in here. I think it's in Fruit Rolls, yeah. Yeah, it's not as big of a deal in Dom. It's annoying, and it did get a damage nerf, and it got now it has limited uses, so I don't think it's as bad anymore. But it's definitely more of a problem in Land Battle for sure. Yeah, no worries. I'm guessing you went into a match not expecting it, and it did end up having. And the opponent did have one. I could see how people like. I could see if people still wanted it like taken out though, as it does have a spirit leech's worth of damage. Someone cast their netted into Scarbrand Rampage. Not the most fun cover. Oh yeah, that's pretty tough. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that being fairly annoying, especially if you didn't expect that the net was there. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Yeah, Karanek nets you, and then Scarbrand just pushes through everything as he has the mass to do so. rampages them, and then pretty much kills them in like a few hits. Yeah, I could see that happening and being very, very frustrating. Lizards into dwarfs. Let's see. So if I was building into dwarfs, you can go a few ways. So consider you're going to be expecting a lot of blunderbusses, a lot of fire glaives, usually. You can go one of two ways. You can go with Slan. If I was going to go against dwarfs though, personally, I'd probably maybe take Oxyotl just to snipe out at the Sorcerer Prophet Lord. And bring a cheap caster, say like a Skink Priest, or you can even bring a Skink Oracle. Skink Oracle could be not too shabby as well. Let's see though. I have to consider it for a second. I haven't played the matchup in a while. But first let's go over the actual infantry here. I'd start off and most likely with just some skinks. I think ancient salamanders are good against dwarfs, as they have extremely good AP values on their missile and pretty good at protecting themselves. 32, 29 melee stats wise, and decent armor. You can keep it out of the range of fire glaives, out of blunderbusses, and just take pot shots at them, bring them, pull them back, take pot shots at them again, bring them back, something like that. I think they're pretty good there. Feral Cold Ones, you're generally going to bring a lot of Feral Cold Ones, as they can do pretty effective into Chaos Dwarf Infantry and even into Hobgoblin Riders as well. I do like to bring the Colossal Hunters on the off chance you catch out a Bull Centaur Renderer. And definitely going to bring some Saurus in, as they can trade pretty effectively into Chaos Dwarf Infantry. I even think of Bastillon Solar Engine. What is it called? Engine of the Gods. No, Engine of the Gods is a little too risky for newer players. Hard to say. I'd probably go with the Slan. As for what to go with, Depth is okay, Metal is okay, Shadows is fine. I think it completely depends on what you want to bring. So if you bring an Ancient Salamander, I'd want to heal that up. So I'm going to be I'd bring a Regrowth and maybe Dwellers, depending. But a Blood Statuette or a Quetzal, pretty much bring everything, honestly. There's no reason not to, aside from Life Plume. But you could bring mostly Skinks for the front line, as what you're mostly going to be facing is Chaos Laborers. So, as well as Skink Skirmishers. Let me see. So I like to go like maybe 3 or 4 Skink Skirmishers. One, they can shoot at any Sorcerer Prophet that the Chaos Dwarf player brings. And they can shoot at any Goblin Wolf Raiders, blowing them out with poison, and then giving you time to catch them out with the Feral Gold ones. These guys right here. And you can shoot at Renderers as well. Don't want to be wasting your shots into, say, Chaos Dwarf Warriors, as they have silver shields. But as well, if you don't want to go with this a Slan Mage Priest, I think I think Oxyauto is fine as well. If you don't have the DLC, you can just go with the Slan. But I would go with Oxyauto here probably, and go with the Skink Priest just for like a cheap caster, just to just like Thunderbolt or something would be fine. 850 for a Thunderbolt caster. You can cast those out on Fire Glaives, Thunderers, Chaos Dwarf Warriors, etc. You can even send these out. You can even send these out early on, and just get a charge in on the Chaos Dwarf Warriors, pull them back as well. That could also be quite effective as well. Oops, I don't have unicaps on. Oops. I'm just saying that's way too many freaking Feral Code ones that it lets you bring. Yeah, it's 5. Or 4 actually. Everything's done? Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Let me advance the bracket. Sorry about that, guys. I was completely absorbed in that. Oh, I said round 3. Sorry about that. Let's get into a match. Do you have Skaven versus Wood Elves? Let's see, 1 second. I actually don't know how this match goes. Let's see, Skaven versus Wood Elves. I would expect it to be not too bad for both. I mean, Wood Elves from the current stats right now, 4-5 to Wood Elves. So they're in the lead. Let me check out the previous season. see, Skaven versus what else? Not a very commonly played matchup, which I mean I'm not surprised about, but Skaven have a pretty tough time, it seems. 2 to 5, and then what about the one before that? Skaven we're pretty big in the pits there, but one thing to note is that obviously Skaven have received massive buffs to their range. Obviously, you still probably don't want to go for a range battle with Wood Elves, but it might not be a too bad of an idea compared to before. Skaven against, let's see, what else in this one? 1 to 3. Yeah, didn't have a great time there. Alright. On the Arbiter's Grounds, a map I don't think I've played on yet. Unless this is the same one. I don't think this is the same one as before. In my previous tournament. I think so. No, it's not. Yeah, I haven't played on this one. Interesting. Very cool looking map. I do like this a lot. Obviously it is mostly desert, but this whole area in the center is pretty awesome. 3 points, both surrounded by more these little pillars here. Don't we have some wonderful freaking map makers in this community? Just like, look how awesome this one is. Good stuff. Actually, I think I've seen that play on this map. I think the towers can be kind of a bit of annoying because you have to like force your infantry through it rather than being able to just go straight ahead. Yeah, I think I've seen this one in one of tournaments before. I don't know, but we do have Ikit Claw on his Dumo, presumably, or is that a Doom Flare? No, he's on foot. We got foot Ikit, nice. With Howling Warp Gale, Cleansing Ruin, Storm Demon, Unlimited Power, and Brass Orb. Also have, of course, that on Musk of Fear. Storm Vermin, the newly improved Storm Vermin. I actually don't know what's changed about them. I just know that they do better now at holding and whatnot. So, should be cool to see how they do in this matchup. We do have Skaven Slaves as well, plus Clan Rats with the Natty Boober Sharpshooters. This is pretty much the exactly probably where you want them to be, holding down point 3, or holding down point 1, excuse me. And keeping them out of the range of any Deepwood Scouts or Blade Guard. I also have a Plague Call Catapult, which is going to be great in this map, as it does have that curvature to avoid any missile fire, or it's harder to get to it. On Wood Elf side, we do have a Spellweaver of Life with Earthblood and Life Bloom, going to be casting out those cheap Earthbloods, and rocking that Life Bloom. Freakin plus Dryas will be the infantry, plus some War Dancers as well. War Dancers should do great into pretty much most of what's Skaven bring, aside from Storm Vermin, theoretically. With that 90 armor. We have the Lost Sylvan Knights summoned in. They get hit with that Loix Blessing. Nice! So they are unspottable at the moment. Though it only lasts 5 more seconds, the Skaven player will eventually see them here soon. Which could be pretty detrimental. The Blade Riders making it over to point 3 and capturing it. And now they see the Lost Sylvan Knights making their way into the back line. Hopefully they can bring some Rat Ogres or something out, because they need to protect that Plague Call Catapult. Most of the infantry for the Skaven side is making it over to point 1, and they should be able to take that handily. Lost Sylvan Knights take some Plague Call Catapult shots and loose... Wait, was that from the Storm Demon? I think that was from Storm Demon, and that did wonderful work. They're ripping apart those Lost Sylvan Knights. I can't believe I missed that. My god. Yeah, they took a beating there from that. Storm Vermin holding back the tide of Dryads, though they're going to receive a charge from these Lost Silver Knights in the back and take a freaking catapult shot in their flank as well. This is freaking Skaven there. It's definitely Skaven there. They mean sacrifice for the greater good of the rest of the Skaven. Storm Vermin holding back all of these Shrieking Dryads and War Dancers, which is not great for the Wood Elf player. They definitely need to be sending those guys around, as it's that blob is being rarely punished by the brass orbs. War Dancers actually not, yeah, they're not trading great in these Storm Vermin. Storm Vermin are beating them down pretty cost effectively. Lost Silver Knights get on top of Ikit and try to get onto the rear of the Storm Vermin, try to collapse those guys. The Storm Vermin are holding back the tide of freaking, even after all those bombards from their own friendly artillery and from being surrounded by the Lost Silver Knights. It was pretty tough for them. They still held out. That's beautiful work there. I think with the old Storm Vermin, that would have never happened. Rat Ogres are probably going to get charged here by the Lost Silver Knights, who definitely need a bit of a heal there. But what can you do at this point anymore? I think it's probably not worth it anymore at 15 models. They do charge down those Rat Ogres and tie them down, giving the Glade Riders time to charge them as well. Collapse in on them and probably shut them down. Skaven shut down the War Dancers and hold on to point 1. Trying to send over the rest of those infantry, the rest of those Skaven slaves over to point 2. Try to take it back. Point 2 and point 3 are in the hands of the Wood Elves, but it won't be for long with how things are going. Eshin Triad summoned in, try to get rid of those Glade Riders. Though Dark Night Runners aren't doing too shabby of a job at that already, especially with the aid of the Rat Ogres. Rat Ogres do take another charge in from the Wild Riders here, and obviously they don't like being the ones being charged, especially in the flank, as Rat Ogres don't have that great of leadership in the first place. A base of 56. And there they go. They immediately rout. Lost Silver Knights are still up, kicking, doing a pretty good job there. A Frenzied Ruin hitting all of these guys, doing the War Dancers, Shuriken. Both these Shurikens definitely need to be, one of these Shurikens need to be over supporting the other fights, not into Halberds, as the Halberds obviously are going to do great into Shuriken. Game of Slaves kind of trying to screen out these Dryads there, but they should have tried to do it at the end of the point there to make sure they don't get onto the actual point itself. So we do have some Clan Rat Spears coming over to surround them, hopefully finish them off. Point 2 is still in the hands of the Wood Elves. Lickle Catapult still shooting in, doing some great work against the Dryads. Lost Silver Knights are pushing through the back line, still up and about. Lost Silver Knights said, I didn't hear no bell, so they're going to keep pushing in and shutting down that Plague Gall Catapult. That's wonderful. Managed to still scrap that back with those guys, despite the absolute beating that they've taken. They've shut down the Plague Gall Catapult, no longer allowing them to shoot. How much value have they gotten? 521 there on the Plague Gall Catapult. Eshin Triads tried to tie them down, but it's very tough with how speedy those guys are. Storm Vermin definitely need to stay back on the point here, not chase after Rat Ogres. Maybe even surround the Spellweaver could be a not too shabby of an idea as well. You can probably summon in some Wolf Rats to chase that off, if you even have any. This is another Frenzied Ruin. Yes, it is another Frenzied Ruin on top of these Shuriken. Probably would have reserved it. I mean, I understand wanting to get rid of those Shuriken early on, but though it actually benefits, actually turns out to be great because it hits the Wild Riders eventually as well as they get into that fight. They obviously left it, but still, whittling those guys down is obviously great. Storm Vermin take a charge there for the Glade Riders. They weren't braced, unfortunately for them, so they took the full brunt of that charge. Though they still have that 90 armor and relatively decent melee stats, so they should hold on for a little while. A lot of this Skaven infantry definitely needs to start making its way over to point 2, and maybe just leave one, in the meanwhile. Lost Silver Knights completely shatter off and aren't coming back. Maybe with Sharpshooters still picking up some value there, getting some shots in at the War Dancers, but they're shattered off, so no point. Definitely, unfortunately, they're not going to be finding much value there now that the Skaven, or now that the Wood Elf player knows that they're there, so they're not going to send in anything over. Might as well just bring in some of that infantry over here to aid out on the objective. Eshin Triads making to the point, same with the Night Runners as well. And hopefully should be able to out-capture the Wood Elves here. Triads trying to scrap it back here, and unfortunately the Storm Vermin are definitely going to be winning a lot of these fights, but here they are relatively hurt at only 2,800 HP left. Wild Hunters of Kurnus making it through here. Get a nice charge in on the Night Runners most likely. Yeah, and they do. Actually, that's not their main objective here. They're going to try to get us around here on Ikit and the Eshin Triads, or rather the Storm Vermin and Rat Ogres. Though obviously they don't want to be in a standstill fight with the Storm Vermin. So they're going to take quite a bit of damage here from them. How much value have they gotten so far? 400 value here as they're fighting through the Storm Vermin and Rat Ogres. They definitely need some support there, and they're going to pull out and get an Earthblood. Hopefully bring them back up to good condition. We do have the Blight Scouts Plague Pack. Pretty cool. Never see these guys ever, and really, really cool to see them. They're a fantastic glass cannon AP unit, 49, 42. Pretty good stats all around, but the issue is obviously they're plague monks, so they have 10 armor and are very, very susceptible to charges. But they're coming over. They do have that Rabble Rouse giving ITP to any allies in range, which is pretty nice. They don't want to be fighting Dryads, but the Dryads are pretty badly hurt, so they will get run over. Wild Hunters of Kurnus taking another Earthblood as they take a Plague Call catapult shot. And they're going to get a charge here on the Skaven Slaves and get through these Clan Rat Spears most likely as well with the help of the Glade Riders. They shut those guys down. After they shut those guys down, they can continue pushing in and get on top of those Natty Boober Sharpshooters and even shut down the Rat Ogres. Wild Hunters should probably go after the Rat Ogres here, and Glade Riders continue after them because the Wild Hunters are going to take a rear charge from the Rat Ogres, which is not great. You have the Spellweaver coming over as well. Night Runners are chasing after her. Point 2 in the hands of the, was it the Wood Elves? The Skaven here. And point 1 in the hands of Skaven as well, though it is now going to Wood Elves most likely. We'll see. Point 3 remains handily in the Wood Elf favor. Points wise though, we are looking pretty good for Echo here. He could definitely scrap this back as the Wood Elves, even though the Skaven have taken over point 2. We do have the Morsketars Hellion as well summoned in, the Rat Ogre, Mutant Rat Ogre ROR. Pretty good stat wise. 73, 48, 462. Only has 30 armor though, and it does rely on that frenzy, so it can take quite a bit of a beating, but we'll see how it does. Coming over, a catapult doing some more friendly fire, of course. Spellweaver gets caught out by those Eshin Triads and is now probably going to get finished off by that Morsketars Hellion, which is going to be pretty bad for the Wood Elves. Going to be hitting that Lord Death penalty here if he does end up falling here, and I think it is. Only 83 HP left, and she gets killed. So not looking great for the Wood Elves. They still have that point lead, 900 to 700 at this point here for the even side. We're gonna need some maybe some infantry sent over to point 3 and start capturing that, as really only the Rat Ogres are being sent over, and those guys can be screened out by Wild Riders. Night Runners coming back over to point 2 to try to hold that objective, though nothing is coming out from the Wood Elves quite yet. They do have enough supply points to start sending out some units, or rather 1704. I'm looking at the wrong one, but Echo does bow out there. Man, those Lost Silver Knights really hung out for quite a lot longer than I thought they would, despite how much of a beating they took early on. And even then, they didn't pick up that much value, but they still did some great work. Just a lot of disruption work, keeping a lot of the Skaven units back, running through the back line and just shutting down that play call for a little while. They didn't shut it down completely, but 2959 there on Ikit. He did great stuff. A lot of high value flensing ruins and brass orbs. 882, 1187. The Storm Vermin did fantastic there. Wow. I did not know the Storm Vermin buff was that good. That was just like perfect, picture perfect for what kind of engagement those guys would want. And they, yeah, they just absolutely they ran down those War Dancers. And the Storm Vermin picked up a lot of value as well, just pulling down their Shriekin as well. The Shriekin definitely probably needed to be fighting those regular Storm Vermin sword and boards. But Naive Sharpshooters 1242 here. Play Call Catapult did fine. I think a lot of its value there was shooting at the Lost Sylvan Knights there. That it just did wonderful work shooting at those guys with those magic catapult shots. Mission Triads did good. Catching out the Spellweaver was solid at the end there. 730 on the Night Runners. 242. 27. Everything else. Alright. 730 here. Knew they were buffed, but I hope they wouldn't bring them. How good was the buff on those guys? Let me see. I thought I looked over all the patch notes, but when people were telling me that the Storm Vermin were buffed, I was like, what are you talking about? Let's see. Storm Vermin, they got... Wow, pretty big buff there. They got a cost decrease, or they got a cost increase, but they got leadership increase, which they desperately needed. They're up to 70 leadership now. Before they were at 60, which made them so tragic to bring, as they just ran away at the like drop of a rock. They got some melee stat increases as well, and armor piercing increases too. The regular Storm Vermin got less buffs, but they still got that leadership increase, which is what matters the most. Having a 70 leadership unit on Skaven is insane, considering how prone the how prone most of your infantry is to routing. I was tired of Skaven Slaves giving up too quickly in the first 3 matches. I thought Ikit on foot would be better against the ranged Cav faction. Yeah. He did pretty solid on foot there. I'm not sure. I can't say if I'm surprised or not, considering honestly, like, he benefited a lot from being on point on foot there, because we were mostly battling over that center objective, right? And he just got some wonderful flensing ruins there. He didn't really need a move from that spot, honestly. The only concern I had originally was, are the Storm Demons even going to land? Considering it's really hard to shoot magic missiles from foot-based characters. But other than that, foot Ikit. Great stuff. Blade Singers would have been great here. Yeah, the Blade Singers would have absolutely torn apart the Storm Vermin. Yeah, Dryad just had a really tough time there. But not able to get through that armor. Well played, guys. I'm really, honestly, I probably infuriate some people to have to deal with Skaven infantry like holding, but having Storm Vermin actually be good is insane to me, because they've been bad since Warhammer 2, and if you did see Storm Vermin in Warhammer 2, it was Council Guard. The Council Guard have always been amazing, but the issue is that at the end of the day, it's just more cost effective to bring a whole bunch of clan rats, or a whole bunch of Skaven slaves and clan rats. So I'm really glad to see them do well. I don't even know what a standard Skaven build is. It's the first time I'm playing Dom. Only played land battle for 2 to 3 weeks. There's not really I mean, there kind of is a standard Skaven build, I suppose. But things have been mixed up a little bit with these new Skaven buffs in general. So I can't say there's exactly a 100% build there for Skaven anymore. Or at least not yet. But yeah, generally you're going to be seeing still a whole lot of Skaven slaves, but I suppose you'll probably see a lot more Storm Vermin nowadays if they're really as good as they are now. You don't ever see the Morskatar's Hellion, so that was cool seeing him. I loved seeing him, but yeah, he's never usually ever brought. You typically see a lot of Wolf Rats in Vanguard. I always go with the pocket full of Wolf Rats. Depending on what matchup I go up against, like if it's something with a lot of armor, I do kind of like to bring the AP version, but otherwise mostly the poison variant to chase down any routing units, skirmishing units. Skaven Slave Singers are extremely cost effective. We love to bring those guys in Dom a lot, as they're hard to contend with. But also, yeah, Doomflayers being unlimited in Dom, or not unlimited, but not limited in Dom. You could see a lot of those, and that could be pretty tough for a lot of factions to deal with. Depending on if the faction has any armor-piercing cav. If they have any armor-piercing cav, they can take out the Doomflayers, but otherwise, they're gonna wreak havoc for a lot of factions. They tried pretty poorly into Wood of Cav? Really? Because land battle, like I've seen a lot of land battle players talking about how annoying it is that Doomflayers just beat any of their cav that doesn't have armor piercing. A Dwarf Thing Menace. Yeah, Dwarf Thing Menace could also have been really great there as well. What do they have over the... They have obviously the ROR stat increase, plus they have Armor Sundering, which is pretty nice. I don't think their best defense is different at all. Do they cause terror? No, they don't. Yeah, it's pretty much just the Armor Sundering and stat increases. But that Armor Sundering is pretty nice. It can be used against... like say Warriors of Chaos, High Elves, Empire, etc. That's a weird melee. 30, 34, 30, 26. Do they? That's good to know. Yeah, because, I mean, Doomflayers have apparently done so well in land battle that they're limited to 1 in there. That's apparently how cost effective that they're trading into pretty much everything. To be fair, I think a lot of their performance, if they are... I mean, I've casted a few games. Obviously, a lot of them are new player tournaments. So they're not probably the best examples, but I haven't seen the Doomflayers do extremely well, as people say. So it might just be people jumping the gun a bit too early, like they usually do. But a lot of their performance does probably have to come down to their animations. You know, their animations are kind of hard to deal with, as they kind of just like I don't know how to say it. Like they have a bit more like eccentric animations, kind of like the Jabber's life and stuff like that. It causes a lot of disruption in the unit formation. Whatnot. 600 value into them or 700. Maybe. Hmm. Maybe they just don't cost. They don't trade cost effectively into light armored cav like wood elves. So maybe you're right. Yeah. Maybe they trade more effectively into armored cav who don't have armor piercing, like say Empire Knights, etc. I'd be interested to test that out. How many matches do we still have waiting? We have 1, 2, 3 matches still going. Does anybody want to hop in and test that with me real quick? How the inflators do. Then conquest or whatever, it doesn't matter. Any more flatter maps? I think that's fine. Also just test it with AI. They get decimated. The actual. Yeah, I could imagine our Wild Riders would be fantastic into them. We can test them into, I guess, all the sorts of Wood of Calf. Say, like, we do Stag Knights, we can do the Wild Rider ROR, we do regular Wild Riders with shields, and base Wild Riders, I suppose. Let's see. So we could send, I don't know, let's say, send the ROR version into the Wild Hunters of Kurnus ROR, and the rest into just, let me separate them a bit more, actually. Yeah, the Dwarf Thing Menace are absolutely getting destroyed there. I mean, look at that. Just deleted practically instantly and already routing. Boom Flayers, yeah, not trading graded to grade Stagnites either. Same with on this side on Wild Riders, base version with shields. And same with the base Wild Riders too. I mean, they're trading a bit better into Wild Riders, but this is obviously much more cost effective for the Wild Riders. Already picking up 400 value. Doom Flayers, 100. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's about right. Here, Yuki, you want to try them against Armored Cav? I want to see how they do against more Armored Cav, like, say, I don't know, Kislev, like Winged Lancers. Wait. Yeah, they did. Let's see what we could do, like, Kislev has, yeah, you could do Warbear Riders, the Oath Brothers, or actually do just the Warbear Riders, Griffin Legion, Winged Lancers, and Kosovo Dervishes. Yeah, they absolutely decimated the Dwarf Thing Menace there. Oh, sorry, I didn't see your message. For the Skaven, is those Dwarf Thing Menace is absolutely like they dealt a pretty good amount of damage, but my god, like they just got ran over completely. Yeah, like my god. Obviously, I think the Warbear Riders will absolutely decimate the Dwarf Thing's Menace, but we'll see. Into the Griffin Legion, or to the Winged Lancers. Doing pretty good there, yeah. Getting into Winged Lancers, how about the Griffin Legion? Griffin Legion, yeah, Griffin Legion's still pretty dominant. And the Kosovo Dervish is getting run down. But definitely a more... Yeah. Yeah. And not as bad as people made them to seem, I don't think. Obviously, Winged Lancers didn't trade as great, but... Really, they only got a lot of value from it. Was really the only one or got any decent work into was the Kosovo Dervishes. I mean, look, even the Winged Lancers, even they take a lot of damage, they still got 800 value off of fighting those Dwarf Things. Off of fighting those Doom Flayers. Thanks, Yuki. Appreciate it. Yeah, I really don't think they overperformed like people said they did. You have mass storm vermin, it falls over. I forgot exactly one. The testing. What do you mean it falls over? What are you talking about the matchup? But obviously, I suppose, yeah, like that's just in a one-on-one scenario. But that's kind of exactly what I wanted to test because people were saying that they were kind of just straight up beating things on their own before. without any support, really. I don't know. I figured that it was kind of just ridiculous. But we got a, did the new patch not say anything about that? I don't think it did. I don't think they messed with them at all. Oh, these ups. Yeah. How are these two doing? Are they still playing? Because Navigator versus Hype Man Made. But I don't know. I like the way Skaven perform now. I think they're still. I understand like the frustrations with having to fight them, because I mean, who likes having to deal with swarms and swarms of infantry, and on top of that, having to deal with being shot by, say, what can I think of words? Warplock Giselles, having to deal with them, and then also having to deal with, poison wind globes, etc., is extremely frustrating. But it's by no means like they're by no means like overpowered. They're just kind of like obnoxious, really. It's just one of those factions that are really sticky. They run away, they come back. They run away, they come back, and you're just having to constantly deal with that. Yeah, before like running with heavy infantry for this game inside, it was more of like a hindrance bringing in Stormvermin. Not like 90% of the time, because they didn't trade effectively into anything. They had again, they ran at the drop of a hat, like any other Skaven. Like they barely, like regular clan rats, they have what, 45? That's 15 over for Stormvermin before. So yeah, that's the perfect scenario, really. And like really before, like aside from like poison wind globes, how else would they have dealt with a tree can? And even then, the poison wind globes can be shut down rather quickly by the wood elf side.
You should have seen one of my units in an earlier game today. Like for some reason, they're just like in two very different, like split up in two groups that are just very far apart for no reason whatsoever. Like this was on the start of the game before I even met.
Oh my god, yeah. I love the way Cav interacts sometimes. It's ridiculous. Echo, I just saw the the video you sent me. That I feel like that happens so often now, to the point where it's just like extremely frustrating, because they'll just like Cav will just like spaghetti them and like not be able to properly make a formation, I suppose. Let me show you guys.
You should have seen one of mine, just like in two very different, like split up in two groups that are just very far apart for no reason whatsoever. Like this
they'll get hung up on like a model or two that they're trying to chase, and like an entire, basically like a good portion of the entire unit will just chase after that for some reason. Okay, round is over. Okay, I will advance. Letting me know. All right, let's see who the top four are going to be. So we do have Orcasun with 10, with 4 Swiss, same with Le Carte au Fil. You have Solanius with 11 OP points, so he'll be going in as well. And the last players to be contested, we do have Korin, Rockdar, and Shirayuki, plus we have quite a few actually, 4 players in total, which are tied there with the OPP points. So what I'm going to do with, I think I'm going to do exactly what Umai's did. Instead of doing the leaderboard thing, I'm going to do the, what was it? The one with the least, let's see, I think it's this one. He did it. Yeah. As the primary tiebreaker to see who gets in the top 4 when players have the same number of win Swiss points. Those who played factions lowest on the total tavern stats win rate will win the tiebreaker. I'll just do that one. Just because I think it's a little bit more fair than... I don't think anybody's going to really be... If most of the people are new players, they're not going to really be on the leaderboard most of the majority of the time, so... See who people played. For 1, 2, huh? They want Shira 1, 2 only? Let me see. Shira. Cherokee got 1 from here. They got, let's see. 1 from the buy, and then let's see. Hiroyuki got 0 here and 0 here. Why do they have 3? That's interesting. Okay, yeah, I'll fix that. I don't know why they have 3 then. Something must have got messed up somewhere. Yeah, I don't know why they have 3. They lost these 2, and then they got 1 buy from here, and then 1 from here, so... Third match dropped after the match, so it wasn't buy. Who was the... I guess you wouldn't happen to know who the player was. But I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, right? It's if you didn't win the other... Yeah, lost here, 1 here, 1 here, yeah. Yeah, I got it, Echo. Thank you very much. I'm gonna try to refresh the actual page itself. Alright, so we have... Does anybody else here have an issue with these? Corin and at the real Kyle. Corin got 1, 2, 3, yep. Kyle got 1, 2, 3, yeah, okay. So Corin, Kyle, and Rockdar, what did they play? Corin played Nurgle. Kyle played Beastman. And Rockdar played... Let's see if I can find them at all. I think I spelled their name wrong. Rockdar. Oh, is he? Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Thank you for pointing that out. So Corin and Kyle. Thank you for pointing that out. Saved me a lot of work. Beastman and Nurgle. Let's see. Beastman up here and Nurgle down here. So I guess we'll go with Nurgle. So let's see here for let's see who Nurgle was. Corin. We'll go with Corin, Silanius, and all right, top four. We have Corin, which is like Kartafel, and yeah, I'll just post it in the chat. Watch. Okay. Let me see if I can get on the carts game. I can do that. I can do that. Alright, just gonna wait for the lobby code here and we'll get things going. Blocker as well. Again, though, thank you to everybody for playing as per usual. Maybe we'll see a Rat Clan this tournament. A little vermin win with all this Skaven talk we got going on. Okay, got the lobby code. Sweet. All right. So we do. Is it corn? Yes, corn. Finally, I haven't seen a single corn match this tournament. And this is a cursed matchup: Nurgle versus corn. Got to do Papa Corn proud. Come on. Let's do it. Let's bring Corn to the finals, baby. Come on. Got this. Make the Rat Clan proud. Make Corn proud. Open the new DLC that Corn Forsaken get a buff, because my god, they are trash. 15 melee defense, by the way. 15 freaking melee defense. Sure, they're speedy. It's nice. They have 100 armor, 46 speed. That's great and all, but 15 melee defense? Like, Jesus. Like, at what point would you even bring those guys over just bringing Marauders of Khorne dual weapons? Marauders of Khorne dual weapons, they lose out on a lot of weapon strength. Actually, you know what? Ignore that. I don't like Marauders of Khorne dual weapons either. I'm not gonna pretend like I like them. I don't like dual weapons. But at least they're cheaper than Forsaken by a whole lot more. But I guess, you know, you lose the speed, so. You want speed, just bring some corn dogs. Some corn dogs and flesh hounds. That's your best bet there. Spawn of Corn having 42 speed, huh? Nice. Not too shabby. Very expensive to just throw out there to capture points, of course, but you know. But I'm not sure how this matchup is with Karanak. Karanak can be pretty good here. Chaos Warrior, rather Chaos Knights with Lances, and I think regular base Chaos Knights got kind of nerfed, but like it was only by like a few melee attack, so not that big of a deal. Chaos series, I don't know if Corn ones are better or worse than Nurgle. Let me see. I think they're relatively the same. 13. I mean, the Nurgle ones do have Cloud of Flies, but the Corn ones do have Frenzy. So. Oh, and the Nurgle ones also have Poison as well, so that also helps quite a bit. Aside from the Forsaken, what is your fastest unit? Bloodletters are pretty speedy, 38 speed for the infantry of the Corn side. Aside from, again, Forsaken, who have 46. I wonder if maybe a Blood Shrine could be okay here. I mean, what's going to really shoot at it besides throwing axes from Norgal side? But we are in the first match of the semi-finals. We do have Nurgle. Kugath Plaguefather is making his way to the field on Atsuchi Castle. Up against Scarbran on Khorne, of course. Where else would he be? And Karanak. Cool. Also have a Plague Cultist, Nurgle Cultist. Why am I... Plague Priest, where am I getting Plague Priest from? I have no idea. A Nurgle cultist and exalted hero of Nurgle as well. I think the exalted hero could do pretty good into fighting Karnak as well. Might be a good tech piece there to deal with any Karnak shenanigans. Because Karnak is a good fighter, but he's not fantastic at it. He's primarily going to be using him to try to snipe out any left alone foot caster lords, etc. He can also just be like a disruption piece. But yeah, he's not like the best fighter out there. Rancid Visitations, when it comes to like armored duelists and whatnot. Rancid Visitations will be the spell here for Kugath plus Fleshy Abundance. We do have you do have his Mortis Engine, Pestilent Decay, so it's going to be slowly whittling down anything nearby. Kugath's going to be great here, really. Pretty much in most matchups. He just slowly whittles things down with his artillery piece, his Nurgle bombings, and just is a very tough unit to bring down. Plague Bearers will be the front line with a Soul Grinder, a Exalted Hero of Nurgle on horseback, with a Cultist of Nurgle with the Icon of Eternal Virulence and Warrior Bane. No Plague Bearer summoned, interestingly enough. For the Khorne side, we do have Scarbrand with Bloodbrute Behemoth. A good boy here. Gonna be helping Dad out. We got Rage embodied for that Rampage, of course. And Bloodbrute, just a menace to try to deal with. Karnak as well. Does he have the net? He does have the net. Prey of the Blood God, going to do some Spirit Leech damage. And he does have that Endless Hunter as well, revealing any hidden units, plus Brass Collar, Bloody Vengeance, silencing any units in range of that 55 meters, which is pretty insane. I think that's his best ability aside from his net. If his net is banned, obviously. But silencing units in nearby range without even having to attack them is pretty insane, and also negating magical weapons against the demonic units of the Khorne side is pretty good. Marauders of Khorne will be the front line as well. Alrighty, we're getting the Soul Grinder, take some pot shots into the Marauder Horse Cav, doing some pretty good damage there. Already knocking off about a quarter of their HP, and even doing some good stuff into the blobbed up Marauders. You have the Minotaurs of Khorne, great weapons coming in as well for that anti-large capabilities. Bone Grinder continuing to fire in, doing some solid work. Trying to shut down that skirmish cav from the Khorne side. If you can get into range and start firing in at those Soul Grinder, could be good. Could do some solid work with those throwing axes. But the Exalted Hero is going to start chasing after them, and they're going to take a point-blank volley from the Soul Grinder, which is insane. And it's probably going to rout them immediately, thanks to the Exalted Hero. Karnak jumps over, starts getting some attacks in on him. The net is popped in. He's going to start taking that Spirit Leech damage, and he's going to have to start deal with these two monstrosities here. Monstrous monstrosities? That's a bit redundant. But yeah, Exalted Hero obviously not going to love this fight at all, and is probably going to be killed here soon if things don't turn more in Nurgle's favor. And yeah, Exalted Hero already terror routed, and might end up being killed here by Scarbrand. Takes another hit there, completely routed off. Though he might end up escaping. Best range Suja summoned in, starts taking some those shots and throwing them into Scarbrand there, doing some great work. Karnak attacking the Cultist. Though with all these Plague Bearers here as well, it's going to make it a bit of a tough time for Karnak to try to actually hit his shots. Wounded prey on that Cultist there, helping out with that fight. Scarbrand's going to get out of there. Probably doesn't want to stay there and take those hits from the Festering Stooges. Marauders pushed into the back lines of Nurgle, trying to stop any infantry units from coming in. Pretty well played there. Marauder Horsemen still throwing their throwing axes into Karnak, or rather into Karnak, what do you mean? Into the Soul Grinder. But the Exalted Hero trying to chase him down. Karnak is trying to screen him out, but he is relatively low HP, and with the Nurgle Cultist help and the Plague Bearers, I think that Karanak might end up, yeah, falling here. He is disintegrating. And there he goes, 600 HP. Oh no, I don't think he's going to stabilize. And he is gone. Quite unfortunate for Korn's favorite puppy. He does fall there, disintegrating, being sent back to the warp. Big old blob fight here is going, I think, better for the Nurgle side. No surprise there. You really don't want to be engaging with Nurgle in that blob fight against Kugath. He's not too shabby of a fighter either, for those who don't know. So the Bloodroot Behemoth theoretically should do well into him, but he has a lot of freaking HP. And again, he is not a terrible fighter, 6450. So really hard to take down, especially when the Bloodroot Behemoth is trying to get past him and get onto the Soul Grinder. But he is stuck there with Kugath. Definitely want to bring him out, keep him out of this fight, and save him there, because if he falls there, things could look pretty bad there for the Nurgle side. Especially considering a lot of their infantry is just in the back lines of Nurgle, not actually doing a whole lot. Bloodroot Behemoth is trying to get away from there, but looking pretty bad for them. Plague Bearers gonna start fighting Exalted Plague Bearers, Bloodleathers. Obviously, the Exalted Bloodleathers will absolutely tear apart Plague Bearers, as this is exactly where they want to be. And yeah, especially with the help of the Bloodroot Behemoth. Exalted Hero might end up getting killed here. We'll see. Plague, the Soul Grinder, getting some nice cross shots into those Marauders who are getting attacked in the flank by Plague Toads. Corn players desperately trying to get those Marauders onto the point to try to hold it back from the ongoing Plague Bearer and Pestigore incursion. Garbrand is taking quite a bit of damage, but he still has 3,300 HP left. Just got to be careful with him. We do have some Plague Bear, Pestigore summoned in, though Fleshhounds are summoned in return. Try to stop them from getting to the point. Will they make it in time? We'll see. Bloodroot did finish off that Exalted... No, he didn't actually finish off the Exalted Hero. Exalted Hero is still up, being a menace. Somehow managed to survive all of that. It's pretty tough there for the Khorne side. Point 2 now switching over to Nurgle side. Point 1 in the hands of Nurgle as well. Point 3... Unfortunately, the Fleshhounds didn't make it in time, and the Pestigores do have some cap weight on the actual point itself. So we're going to need some Marauders over here when possible to... though, we actually do... If the Marauder Horsemen can make it over here in time, they can actually throw it back in the favor of Khorne. Exalted Bloodleathers getting through the... trying to fight through the Festering Stooges. They do have, of course, their Hellblade procced at the moment, so AP... Their weapon strength is increased by a whole 9, which is pretty fantastic. But they're now taking shots in the back from the Soul Grinder and Kugath. I think it's mostly from Kugath, actually, which is not great for them. Garbrand might come over and help out, but he definitely doesn't want to be in the range, or rather be fighting Kugath at the moment. Marauder Horsemen throwing their axes into the Soul Grinder. Hopefully they should be able to shut him down soon, because it is wreaking havoc through the Khorne lines. And really saving Kugath there a lot of times. Point 3 is going back in the favor of Nurgle as the Fleshhounds started to disintegrate, and Pestigore just slowly outcapping the both of them. Kugath does get hit by that Raging Body, putting him into Rampage. Same with the rest of these units, Plague Bearers, etc. But I think Scarbrand definitely doesn't want to be in this fight anymore. If he falls, it could spell doom here for the rest of the Khorne side. Running that leadership penalty, Dead Lord penalty. Does get hit by Rancid Visitations, and yeah, Scarbrand is going to fall here. Be sent back to the warp, and make Papa Khorne pretty freaking angry. Bloodroot is nearing his heal cap, and on the possibility of routing here. We'll see. He's down to -7 leadership, and yep, there he goes. Unfortunately, Cord is going to bow out there, and it will be going to Nurgle. Karanak, Korn's best friend here, unfortunately was not able to win it out there, not be able to shut down that exalted hero. And then Kugath just being an absolute menace. Karanak being shut down so early on was pretty tough, and Scarbrand taking so much damage was very, very unfortunate. But yeah, let's look at the values. 1721 on Scarbrand. Throwing axes did okay, despite being shot by the Soul Grinder. 1654 on the Blood Brute, not too shabby. 1481, 396. Yeah, all the Bloodletters did fantastic. I love seeing those guys just rip through Plague Barriers. 479, 302, 343, 53 here, and 759 on the Minotaurs of Khorne. That's also a thing as well. Minotaurs of Khorne got shut down with that blob fight as well, which is a big cost investment there for the Khorne side. 3865 on Kugath. Just carrying Nurgle on his back. 785 here on the Cultist. 923 on the Exalted Hero. Exalted Hero did great. 1704 on the Plague, on the Soul Grinder. 692 on these Plague Bearers. Everything else did fine. Festering Stooges also got some really nice volleys with their missile attack on Scarbrand. They did some great damage into him. And of course they fought off the Exalted Bloodletters. But solid match from both players. Unfortunate that Khorne didn't come out with the win this time, but what can you do against that overwhelming mass from Nurgle? Those dastardly plagues. Maybe next time. Maybe next time Khorne will win it out. I'll keep holding out for Khorne. What's their win rate actually looking like for Khorne at the moment? Khorne are up to 51%. Nice. Not too shabby there for Khorne. How they're doing against Nurgle, however, they do actually have a 6-2 against Nurgle at the moment. And against Tzeentch too, my god. Against Tzeentch, they are 13 win to 2 losses. And in a mirror match against Khorne, they have 50%. They're doing pretty bad against High Elves. Everything else seems okay. Wood Elves as well, and Empire they're kind of struggling against, which makes sense. I can imagine they'd struggle pretty hard against the Empire. Wood Elves, I could see it as well. With all of the cheap cav there now for the Wood Elves to shut down any Fleshhounds, Corn Dogs. Blade Singers will do great into Khorne as well. And Dryads as well. Hey, he's final lobby. Okay. Yeah, let me hop in there. Against Nurgle or against one of these factions? Oh, sorry, I missed the other message. That would have made sense. Yeah, how is Khorne 6-2 against Nurgle? I'm not sure. I definitely think it's really tough for Khorne because I mean, you have to deal with soul grinders. You have to deal with, say, if Kugath is brought, how do you deal with Kugath? I mean, you can some say you could just ignore him, but at the same time, if he's just constantly mortars engineering everything down on one point, you have to avoid that one point. And the thing is, Snurgle is really good at getting to split points now with the Pestigors and Chaos Furies. I think Corn. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think Corn has a chance. It's just that against Nurgle, it's really tough to. It's tough to deal with a lot of what they bring to the field. Because they trade so cost effectively into a lot of things, and with all the healing that you have to try to get through as the Corn side. Yeah, you really do. Plague bearers have a lot of HP to have to chew through, and obviously your best unit for chewing through infantry are bloodletters, but bloodletters can take a lot of damage very quickly from, like, say, soul grinders, chaos knights, etc. On the Nurgle side, I think that very slow, methodical playstyle from the Nurgle side with all that healing, it just kind of counters what Corn can go up against. Like, it just counters Corn directly. They can't out like it's been since the like day one launch of Warhammer 3. They can't out kill what Nurgle can heal. They can't out DPS it. Nurgle against Corn is just a big old DPS check. But we do have the Wood Elves up against Nurgle. Durthu should fare pretty good here, and he is up against Kugath himself with another Exalted Hero and Soul Grinder. You'll also have it's a Waystalker, right? Is that what they're called? Yeah, I do not envy you in that matchup, like Hartophil. It was a good effort by you, and I'll be rooting for the rest of the Rat Clan, trying to bring in these wins with these harder to play factions. So we got Durthu on Solanius' army. We have Sword of Death for his only item. Ancient Tree Man, pretty fantastic into demons now with their Ancient Protector. They do pretty great. Help mitigates that magic damage, which bypasses the Dryad's physical resistance, Blade Singer physical resistance, and the Treekin and Ancient Tree Man phys res. Spell Singer will be the Lord for the Wood Elves with Earthblood and Regrowth plus Life Bloom. Eternal Guard will be the infantry for the Wood Elves. And we do have a Glade Captain. That's what they're called, not Waystalker. Oh, they do have a Waystalker, but Glade Captain is different, right? I think. Yeah. Glade Captain does have that Dance of Loic for that +5 melee defense for allies within range. They also have those magical missiles too, and can handle themselves in melee with 50, 248 with one versus large. Nurgle, bringing Kugath again, Rancid Visitations, Fleshy Abundance, and Arcane Conduit with that Mortis Engine as well from Pestilent Decay. Exalted Hero is going to be on horseback again. She's a really cheap AP fighter. Very durable with 120 armor, 60-50 melee stats. Soul Grinder brought as well. We do have Marauders and Chaos Warriors, along with some Chaos Furies, which are just summoned in. Soul Grinder, I think that was actually Kugath shooting in at the Glade Captain. The Glade Captain is actually going to start shooting at the Soul Grinder, who takes some volleys from the Deepwood Scouts. Very beautiful. And take quite a bit of damage from them. Is it going to take some from the other one as well? Yes, it does. Already being screened out, so they're not able to get any shots in from the Soul Grinder. Though it's going to turn around, take a pot shot there. Thing is, as well, with the Deepwood Scouts, they do have a more spaced out formation, so it does help a bit compared to, say, like High Elves, who have more a tighter formation on their range units. So it helps quite a bit. Oh, blocker, so oh, thank you. Shoot. That's the first time. Thank you, Lucas. Sorry about that. Really thank you for telling me that. I would not have noticed otherwise because I have the preview turned off. Deepwood Scouts being shot there by the Plague Bearer, or like excuse me, the Soul Grinder, and they are going to pull back, however, as they send in the Eternal Guard to take the point and start screening out the rest of the Nurgle infantry. Glade Captain continuing to fire, and I think the Glade Captain is a really nice tech here, actually, with those melee attack, with that those magic missiles. They don't have that great of weapon strength, 100 missile strength, 178, but it adds up, slowly whittling down the Soul Grinder. Another nasty Soul Grinder shot there on the Eternal Guard. Do some nasty work. Earth can hop in here, start helping out there with a fight. Wild Hunters get his round here on the Marauders. I don't think it was the right choice, however, as Kugath is now on his way. Same with the Exalted Hero, and they're going to surround them and probably punish them, even with Dirtu's help. The regrowth hitting the Deepwood Scouts. Deepwood Scouts definitely need to pull out here as and let the Bladesingers take those guys down. Do have some Wraiths of the Frozen Hearth as well. Regrowth should help out a lot with the Deepwood Scouts, however, mitigate some of that damage there from the Chaos Furies. Where did they even go? Are they shattered completely? Oh no, they made their way. Somehow they made their way over. Nice, good. They managed to escape out of that treacherous, horrible situation there, and on top of the Chaos Furies, finish them off with the help of the Glade Captain as well. Actually, I think they were just helping the Glade Captain there because yeah, they just helped out a lot there. Chaos Furies being shut down thanks to the Bladesingers and the Eternal Guard. Soul Grinder's now in the fight, however. Eternal Guard obviously not going to be great to fight against with the Soul Grinder, so definitely want to pull the Soul Grinder out there, as definitely want to be fighting anti-large the AP of those Eternal Guard. Deepwood Scouts are also getting some fantastic volleys in there. Soul Grinder might end up getting shut down here, which could be pretty detrimental there for the Nurgle side. Dirthu's fighting with Kugath. As great of a fighter Dirthu is, you really don't want this fight, if I'm being honest here. Just kind of have to avoid Kugath altogether for majority of the game, as it's just going to rack up a lot of value for the Nurgle side. Though, Dirthu can get healed up eventually, so yeah. I mean, even with the debuffs from Kugath, he's still a pretty good fighter there. Yeah. The issue is that it just takes way too long to kill Kugath. He's such a hard fighter to kill with 64 melee defense. It's just not worth it majority of the time. It's just really better just to have him deal with infantry instead. Now he's getting 2v1'd. And again, as good as a fighter Dirthu is, you don't want him 2v1'd. Vestigors get us around nasties around here on the Glade Captain, though we do have the Wild Hunters of Kernus coming over. Hopefully he should be able to help out in time. An Earthblood hitting all three of these units here. Perfect. High value Earthblood there. After taking a Rancid Visitation. Really, I'm begging Selanians to pull out Dirthu here, because this could be very bad if Dirthu falls. I know it's hard to pull him out here, but got to do something. The Glade Captain does get routed off. Pestigors weren't able to, I mean, the Wild Hunters weren't able to surround, or weren't able to words are hard to save her in time. 0.2 in the hands of the Wood Elf still, 0.3 in the hands of Nurgle. Value-wise, looking a lot better from Nurgle as they're starting to shut down Dirthu, who only has 675 HP and is being chased down by the Exalted Hero. might end up unfortunately dying here. We'll see. 431 HP. He's been pushed back. What in the hell is this? What is happening right now? Like, he's trying to run away that way, but he's being pushed by the Exalted Hero. He takes a regrowth, but I think it's a little too early, especially with the Rancid Visitations here. Actually, I don't think he got a regrowth. I don't know what that was. But yeah, Rancid Visitation shuts down Durthu, and there he goes. Papa Tree is gone. His anger could only sustain him for so long. But Kugath is starting to be shut down here by the Deepwood Scouts. Might be able to kill him off. We'll see. He still has 3,600 HP, but it is going down very, very quickly. This could be what brings Wood Elves back here. I mean, I say that, but both point 2 and point 1 have been in the hands for the Wolves for quite some time, giving them plenty of opportunity to rack up points, now up to 600 points to 70 that Nurgle will have. So if this were a land battle, obviously this would be a lot different, and you could say, wow, Nurgle will definitely win this here. No. You got to make sure to capture these points, and shutting down Durthu, though it was pretty tough for the Wood Elves, they don't have terrible leadership. They do have that pretty good base leadership, and losing Kugath is a much bigger deal than losing Durthu is. Nurgle player bows out. I think a little too early, but losing Kugath there, obviously, again, is very, very tough there for Nurgle. He's a very expensive centerpiece, and you don't want him to be shut down so soon. But well played to both players. Durthu, even though he fell there, he still, in a way, dragged down Kugath with him, thanks to his ranged units from the Deepwood Scouts. Deepwood Scouts is fantastic even after the Swift Shiver Shards, even after their range decrease, because they had a really high range of 180 with their buff in 5.1, but they did get brought down to 155, so much more manageable and much more in line with the regular Deepwood Scouts, but still pretty good, as you can see. If you bring one of your centerpieces or one of your more expensive pieces into the fight, giving them the opportunity to shoot at them, bringing them into their range, it could be pretty bad for them. But yeah, Durthu 911 didn't have a great time fighting Kugath there. Blade Captain, I do like the tech there, but she did get shut down. But yeah, I liked her just shooting at the Soul Grinder the entire time. Cool seeing her. I never really seen her be brought. I think the Waystalker is still probably better. I think the Waystalker also has missile attacks. I could be wrong though. But the Waystalker also has the Arrow of Kurnus as well. So Bladesingers did great. 940. I loved seeing Bladesingers there. Deepwood Scouts did fantastic. No surprise. The Soul Grinder was just pushed up way too far. Same with Kugath, and they got punished for it. But we got a Wood Elf win. Nice. Congratulations to Selanius. Well played. 2115 on Kugath, 1149 there on Exalted Hero. Soul Grinder did okay, not as great as the previous match. Pestigor's not too shabby, but kind of got run down by the Cav of the Wood Elves. Silver Chevron Chosen. I kind of wish to see those guys come in. Yeah, well played, guys. Thanks to everyone for joining in. Congratulations to Selanius. You are now a hatched fresh spawn, and did a good job. Well played. I'll catch you guys next time in the next new player tournament, which will most likely be next week. We'll see. I'm not sure if I should maybe take a chance to run a NA time player tournament, but 12:30 seems to be a nice sweet spot for a lot of players. Thank you guys for joining in as always, and thank you guys for watching and chatting me up. I'll catch you guys next time in another one. Hopefully Corn can win it out next time. See you guys later. Bye-bye.